In Vintan, a giant stone statue of a goddess was erected in the town center. This is Vanu, the lord of Vintan, under the statue of the martial goddess Tangjen, is happily distributing food to the beggars by the deputy lord Luke Van Kieu. The young man, Chok Min Lang, dressed more prominently than the other beggars, carried a large car bowl to ask for rice. You wouldn't expect that the ruler of the stronghold is a stunning beauty. Today, Van Kieu suddenly offered free porridge, and Min Lang ate 3 bowls, finally having a full meal after many days of hardship. Suddenly, someone shouted, "I told you that martial goddess isn't that good. 5 strongholds were killed by her last year. Why can't she spare us?" Before Min Lang's eyes, the people who were eating porridge all spat blood and died instantly. How could he survive after eating 3 bowls of porridge? Min Lang gradually lost consciousness, still unwilling to accept death in his mind. He was just a mulberry farmer in Tangjen who became a beggar after encountering bandits while transporting silk to the lord. Now it's all over. Min Lang was locked in the Vintan prison with someone. In the middle of the night, he woke up with a gnawing hunger. But what lay before him was not delicious food, but the beautiful and strong martial goddess Vanu. All in all, he still got to eat before dying. Heaven even allowed Min Lang to experience this taste. He could not let it go. All his experience was put to serve Vanu. After a few hours, Min Lang realized he was still alive, and that the person in front of him was the real Vanu, lying there breathing evenly. Min Lang felt this sensation was incredibly real. Had he truly become the luckiest man in the world? In Min Lang's hand, a small white silkworm crawled out. "You're awake too, great." At that moment, Vanu had also awakened. Min Lang kept explaining the reasons, but she didn't listen. What was the difference? She had achieved her goal. Outside, the sneering laughter of Van Kieu echoed in. "The sister looks very good. It seems this beggar served her very attentively last night." Van Kieu stood behind this scene. She was sure that the story of Vanu's beauty, sleeping with a beggar, would embarrass Vanu. Van Kieu would definitely spread this news to everyone's ears, turning it into a topic of gossip at every tea table and meal. After she left, Min Lang realized that Vanu had also fallen for the trap. Vanu punched his eye that was staring at her body, ordering Min Lang not to look. Min Lang held his face in frustration. Hadn't she already looked at him? It wasn't fair. Min Lang tightly shut his eyes. He just wanted to think of a way to get out. Min Lang had his little silkworm chew through the bars at the window. In a few seconds, it created an escape route for them. Min Lang proudly lifted his chin at the little silkworm. It was indeed impressive. Seeing the way Vanu looked at him as though he was a sick person, Min Lang sat in a corner feeling wronged, witnessing Vanu asking him for support to get up. Min Lang was confused. Did a powerful martial goddess like her really need his help? It turned out Vanu was poisoned and weak all over. Min Lang waved his hand, expressing he wouldn't assist. She had blinded him. He could see nothing. Vanu learned from this experience and no longer hid his eyes, but just pressed down on Min Lang's stomach and punched. Min Lang had no choice but to bend down obediently to be a step for Vanu to step on. At the end of the path, Min Lang peeked up, but was kicked straight in the face by Vanu. Minutes passed with no sign of Vanu. Min Lang feared he had been left behind. Indeed, the more beautiful a woman is, the less you can trust her. A sack fell from the sky onto Min Lang's head. Vanu ordered him to wear it before pulling it up. The whole journey was extremely difficult. Vanu didn't expect a starving person like Min Lang to be so heavy. Both finally got outside. Min Lang saw Vanu's exhausted condition and believed she was indeed poisoned weak as a normal girl. Vanu ordered Min Lang to follow her and not to make any noise. She pushed an inanimate stone in the corner of the wall aside, revealing a hole. Min Lang looked in to judge. Surely she could escape from the city through here. But of course, in the end, Min Lang still followed Vanu, only it had consumed quite a bit of his strength and blood along the way. With this view and the average stamina of a man, anyone would end up in a serious blood loss situation like Min Lang. Outside, the city fire spread everywhere. It turned out the fire came from the mouth of a dragon, the Golden Flame Dragon. It was rampaging everywhere. Its master was Lahir, the Dragon Master. He had no grievances with this city, but Lahir would not stop until he found the person in the painting, namely Vanu. Van Kieu witnessed Lahir's power, unable to help, but covered it. She exposed the fact that Vanu slept with Min Lang, becoming the dirtiest woman in this stronghold. Then she promoted herself. The pure and graceful little girl also has some strategies to command the troops of the city. If you don't mind, I can marry you tonight. Lahir suddenly squeezed Van Kieu's neck hard and lifted her up. What did you say? How dare you touch her? If she is a pearl, then what are you but filthy mud? Lahir angrily ordered the golden flame dragon to breathe fire towards them. If they dared to touch Vantu, then no one was allowed to exist in this world. The clothes and flesh were being burned, yet Vanku still had the mind to mock Lahir, leaving him bewildered. Has this woman gone crazy? Vanku narrowed her eyes, using the last bit of breath to provoke Lahir before dying. Haha, before you became the Dragon Master, you were just dirt in her eyes. You crave her, yet she treats you coldly like a servant. In the end, you tamed the dragon hoping she would see you differently, yet she was ruined by me. The goddess you yearn for day and night is being enjoyed by a beggar. Ha ha ha. The laughter echoed louder, striking deep into Lahir's heart. He unleashed his anger, incinerating Vanku to the bone. The golden flame dragon poured all its strength into breathing fire, turning the entire town into a sea of flames with a burnt smell wafting high into the air. Levantu even, so she could only belong to Lahir. At that moment, Vantu had successfully escaped with Minlang. They watched Vintan behind them, turned into a battlefield caused by Lahir. A second of delay would have turned them into roasted meat. Minlang was curious about what Vantu planned to do next. Once the enemy discovered she had escaped, they would surely pursue her whereabouts. Moreover, Vantu was still poisoned and had not regained her strength. Minlang felt she should hide with him for a while. Vantu had no choice but to agree. After 3 days and nights, they finally reached small Tangjen. Minlang arranged several wooden tables and chairs into a sleeping spot, while Vantu lay on her own bed. In the middle of the night, Minlang heard sobbing from the other side. Vantu, although asleep, still shed tears. She had lost her position, and her purity had fallen into his hands. Vintan had just been gained and was now destroyed. It truly was hard to not feel aggrieved. In Vantu's eyes, Minlang was just a lucky beggar. The next morning, a fragrant aroma awakened Minlang. He immediately jumped up, thinking he would have a hearty meal. Who would have thought that what Vantu was preparing to drop into the oil pan was his precious silkworm? My silkworm is so cute, how can you eat it? Vantu was on the verge of starvation, having eaten several fried silkworms. Minlang had to rush out to buy cakes for her before his silkworms were all in Vantu's belly. On the way, Minlang did not expect a celestial beauty like Vantu to be so ruthless when walking on his silkworms. Passing by a street vendor, Minlang saw an old man telling something to the children, saying that dragons were the most noble thing in the world, possessing a very strange power. Regardless of what life form, there is a certain probability of becoming a dragon. It is said that all beings have a dragon gate. After crossing the rain gate, they can transform into a dragon. And humans also have a special individual who searches for the laws to transform into dragons, assisting beings that can transform into dragons to cross the rain gate. They are the dragon masters. All the children dream of becoming dragon masters, but once they become dragon masters, their hearts must be inclined towards goodness and must not kill innocent people. The child heard that it's not easy to find a spirit that can transform into a dragon. The old man explained that there are rumors that spirits love to eat silkworms. If it appears, it must be caught back because its chance of becoming a dragon is very high. Therefore, recently the price of silkworms has surged. Their Tangjen living off this trade has benefited greatly. Only Minlang cried, as his precious silkworms had already ended up in Vantu's belly. Finally, Minlang bought cakes back, but the person was no longer there. Vantu left a note telling Minlang not to look for her. From now on, they would act as if they did not know each other. Minlang felt a bit heartbroken. He had become the greatest shame in Vantu's life. But in reality, he wasn't that kind of person. However, midway through, Minlang stopped expressing his feelings to his little silkworm. Do you think we are going back to the stormy days again? But normally it's also good. No pressure, no troubles, and people don't need us to take responsibility. Minlang intended to take the little silkworm to eat when Vantu startled him. Vantu said with a serious face, Minlang, pretend to be one of my tribe for a while. Just then Lahir burst in like an old ancestor, catching the two in a secret. His face was extremely unpleasant. The person you said wanted to travel with you is him. Vantu coldly fabricated a story that Minlang had reported her situation to the tribe. She kept him to heal the remaining wounds, then immediately returned to the Dragon Master clan. Minlang realized he had a role to play and immediately knelt down to perform. The female leader of the tribe has ordered that I must escort you back, not allowing outsiders to accompany you. With such a noble and decorous identity, my subordinate thinks you should not trust those of unclear origins. Unclear origins was like touching a thorn in Lahir's heart. He prepared to explode when Vanu coordinated with Minlang to perform this act. She explained that Lahir had previously been a servant in her father's inner courtyard and was now the Dragon Master, not someone of unclear origins, as you said. Minlang nodded, also acknowledging him as a disciple within the tribe. Then let's set off together. Lahir rode the dragon carrying the two of them. On the way, Minlang couldn't help but tremble. Lahir was the one who destroyed Vintan to find Vanu, and the lucky beggar was him. If he knew Minlang was the person he was searching for, he would definitely roast him into crispy pork belly. Minlang was curious about Lahir's background. Wasn't he no longer a servant of Vanu's father? Vanu recalled that Lahir had once peeked at her practicing swordsmanship, which was why her father had kicked him out of the clan. Minlang fell silent, secretly thanking his ancestors carrying a heavy burden. Lahir had only peeked at Vanu practicing swordsmanship and was chased away while he was now playing with her and was still carefree. Minlang was curious whether this Lahir wanted to take the opportunity to find Vanu to return to the great clan. He forced them back. It would be hard to say what would happen on the way. In the meantime, Lahir stood on the dragon, secretly glancing at Minlang, seeing him lean close to Vanu, whispering something that made him furious. Lahir intentionally let the dragon dive straight down. Minlang and Vanu slid on its back, fearing they would soon fly off the dragon's back. The golden flame dragon landed. Throughout the journey, Lahir stood up straight, undisturbed, while Minlang was struggling to hold on to Vanu's thigh, trembling. Do you want to assassinate the female leader? Lahir said that his dragon was fierce, hence the rough landing. On the contrary, he glared at Minlang as a warning. You are a member of the Le family. How dare you touch the body of the female leader? Vanu immediately kicked Minlang down to the ground. She unconsciously allowed him to cling to her without resisting, raising Lahir's suspicion. The guard just entered the Dragon Training Academy. The dragon hasn't formed yet, disturbing Mr. La. Vanu fabricated an excuse. Lahir jumped down, mocking Minlang. So brave, not even having a dragon, yet you dare dream of the female leader. Minlang ignored him. Sometimes it's better to endure. Below was the Dragon Master clan. It is said to have transformed from an ancient dragon, and today Minlang witnessed that it was indeed well deserved. Inside the clan, a teacup shattered the fragments, cutting across Vanu's face. The one who attacked was the clan leader Lei An. Beside him was the matriarch Kong Dong. If you can't even keep your own reputation, how will you maintain the renowned Dragon Master clan from now on? Lahir hurriedly reported that he had destroyed Vintan. How could this news reach the Dragon Master clan so quickly? Leanne glanced, and Lahir had already knelt down, not daring to utter a word. Madame Kong slightly curled her lips, but her words twisted into Vanu's shame. No matter what, Vanu has already made quite a few achievements for us. Even though her reputation is ruined, her commanding authority still remains. Leanne frowned, saying, What authority does Vanu have? The soldiers under her name have all suffered similar humiliations. In the end, Leanne decided to strip Vanu of her title as female leader. Her guards were all sent to other military camps, continuing to defend the western battlefield. As for the heir of the Dragon clan, it was passed on to the younger sister Nam Lindieu, while Vanu was locked up and not allowed to meet anyone. Afterwards, Leanne turned to ask Lahir about his golden flame dragon. I didn't expect that after leaving the Le family, you would have such fortune. This time you did well. Let those refugees know that the people of the Le family are absolutely not something they can trample on. Leanne sent him to act as his subordinate. Although the golden flame dragon has great potential, it also requires enormous resources and an excellent master to guide it. Lahir was overjoyed, bowing in gratitude to Leanne until he disappeared from view. Minlang stood in the middle of the house like a lamp. No one paid attention to him. Lahir turned back, pushing Minlang aside, approaching Vanu. Miss, don't mind the looks of others. I will strive to become the central pillar of the Le family, using all means to persuade your father to marry you to me. This sincere feeling is real. Lahir did not need Vanu to reply immediately, just needed to understand his heart and feelings. After Lahir left, Minlang handed Vanu a handkerchief to wipe the blood on her face, but Vanu suddenly left with tears in her eyes that she could not suppress. That night, Min Lang lay in the living room of the Le family, tossing and turning all night. Although Vantu did not vent her anger on him, she also did not want Min Lang to meet her. He couldn't just sit here without doing anything. He should find somewhere to stay temporarily. Luckily, he could still grow mulberries. Otherwise, his little silkworm would wake up and cause a ruckus due to hunger. Min Lang fell into a dream entering the spirit realm to visit Xiao Bai Kai, his white silkworm. The spirit realm is a space for dragon masters to keep the dragons they have tamed. Min Lang didn't expect that there would be an additional cocoon inside. Inside the cocoon, a shape resembling a dragon was curling up, surprising Min Lang. Is this a sign of dragon transformation? Bai Kai is about to return to dragon form. Min Lang couldn't help but be overjoyed. Soon, he would be able to soar in the sky like before. It's a pity that Min Lang was not a true dragon master. Otherwise, he would definitely not let Bai Kai end up like this. Don't worry, Bai Kai. I will definitely clarify the matter of your degeneration. Then I will help you grow up and I will bring you back to the peak to become a true dragon master. Furthermore, Min Lang did not want to become the shame of this life for Vantu. He had to find a safe place for Bai Kai to go through the pupation stage. Min Lang also felt it was inappropriate to stay at the Dragon Master clan. At that moment, there was a knock at the door. Sinivantu's maid was sent by her to deliver a letter of introduction from the Dragon Training Academy to him. Min Lang did not expect that Vantu wanted to turn his identity as a Dragon Master from fake to real, perhaps fearing that Lahir would investigate further in the future. Sini also instructed Min Lang that after registering, he must not miss the spirit selection. He must choose carefully. The next day at Gaoshuan, the Dragon Training Academy stood amidst the vast ocean exuding extraordinary charisma. A young girl selling peaches on the roadside guessed that Min Lang came to admire the academy and did not believe he was there to enroll. Little brother looks handsome. Are you still not awake? She said while laughing in Min Lang's face. She saw his attire was also ordinary, and he did not bring any spirits, looking completely clueless. Since when did the standards of the Dragon Training Academy drop so low? Min Lang angrily bet with her. I'm sure now that when you step into the big gate, no one will dare to stop you. At that time, the peach seller must give Min Lang a whole basket of peaches. And if she wins, Min Lang will buy all of these peaches. The girl stuck out her tongue teasingly. I wouldn't believe you could buy all these peaches. Min Lang reached the gate and presented his enrollment letter. The gatekeeper pointed out the way for him to get his student badge. Min Lang smugly turned back to tell the peach seller, but unexpectedly she didn't care, continuing to sell her fresh peaches. This feeling was even more uncomfortable than losing. After all the candidates gathered, the old man gestured for them to get ready to set off. They rode on a water dragon. Along with Min Lang were Manhwa and Li Teodin. A voice of an uncle called out from the other side. Candidate Li Teodin, you are the hope of our village. No matter what, you must become a dragon master. If not, then it's okay. Just hurry back to the village. He also mentioned that the cows and sheep would be released on the pasture. If they don't get fat, raise them for milk. If there's no milk, raise them for wool. He also instructed the young man to divide the deer meat for his friends. Theodin blushed, waving his hands, wishing his uncle would stop talking. Afterwards, he got acquainted with a few people around, including Min Lang. The person sitting in front, Nam Hua, was silent and didn't engage in conversation. The teacher reminded them not to waste time. Being late for enrollment meant a longer journey. Now reaching the Dragon Selection Hall, they could only choose from the remaining spirits. At the Dragon Selection Hall, another old man sat with his legs crossed on a chair, signaling them to choose a spirit. After selecting, they would register with the old man. Once the seal was completed, the spirit would belong to them. A whole forest full of spirits. Theodin hesitated, unsure which one to choose was best. Namhua looked at him with a contemptuous expression. You all are quite serious about your choices. 1,000 spirits here may not necessarily become real dragons. Bringing you here is just to give you a bit of hope. Just choose one, don't waste time here deliberating. Choosing trash is worse than putting in some effort to tame your spirits. Min Lang noticed a little silkworm wriggling on the ground over there, suddenly being snatched by a half-dragon, half-crocodile. The wolf pups saw this and knocked the kid's head. Min Lang immediately lifted it up, calling, Little Ngaklin, let's live together from now on. In response to Min Lang's invitation, it gave him a stream of yellow liquid in the face and then laughed as if it were on a roll. Min Lang gritted his teeth in humiliation. No wonder this little guy was bullied by the others. It deserved it. Min Lang remembered the old man saying that any spirit that liked to eat silkworms had a high probability of becoming a dragon. This crocodile had very hard bones, like a dragon hiding its form, so Min Lang endured flattering it with a few silkworms. I specialize in raising silkworms. Whether I can help you become a dragon or not, I can't say, but I guarantee you will have enough silkworm meat to eat. Mentioning silkworms, the crocodile's face dripped with saliva. I agree to whatever you say. Min Lang immediately made a soul contract with it, naming it Little Black. At the dormitory, Min Lang spent all afternoon digging a pond for Little Black. While he went to take a bath, Little Black jumped into the pond and splashed around joyfully. Min Lang also soaked himself in the hot water, feeling completely relaxed. The next morning, while Min Lang was still sound asleep, Little Black was full of energy, jumping into his face. It diligently did a few push-ups, and Min Lang rewarded it with a silkworm. Today, he took it to a place for training. On the way, Min Lang heard a few stories about Vanu and himself. What do you guys know? In a place that has no order, like Wushu, with that fairy-like appearance, who wouldn't want to have a taste? The story grew more absurd, and Min Lang was at a loss. At a roaring waterfall, Little Black was training to swim. Its agility was impressive, but it seemed its motivation had broken down rushing straight toward the waterfall. Min Lang immediately rushed up to grab Little Black, throwing it to the shore. But he was more unfortunate. The branch Min Lang was holding suddenly broke in half. This is it. Little Black jumped back into the water, swimming towards Min Lang. The more he ordered it to return, the more it swam vigorously than a person. Little Black strained its horn on the head, grew longer, feeling like it evolved in a few seconds. Min Lang had fallen down, but he was supported by something. Min Lang realized that it was the Dao Long the dragon that poked its head out from the huge waterfall below. Dao Lam innocently asked Min Lang, "Why end this flesh and blood body that comes from the nurturing of your parents?" Min Lang jumped down to explain, it was just an accident. Up above, Little Black had just jumped down too. It realized it couldn't fly. Dao Long saved it once, saving the owner, then the pet. Min Lang was pleased to see Little Black level up, but no matter how strong it became, it couldn't jump down like that. It would affect its bones. Dao Lam evaluated and said, Min Lang worked hard to tame Little Black. It seems it has found the path to becoming a dragon. If there's nothing else, don't disturb the lady's training here. Min Lang bowed his head in gratitude for Dao Lam's saving grace. Little Black also followed suit. Min Lang scratched Little Black's head. Now, if you encounter the spirits that bully you at the Dragon Selection Hall, you can handle 3 of them alone. Little Black looked towards Dao Long and roared. Min Lang chuckled. Right, your ambition isn't just to defeat those wolves. One day you will be able to fight this Dao Long. At the Academy's dormitory, Din was kneeling down, accepting defeat after his spirit lost. The other person relied on this to send him on errands. Min Lang frowned. What was so interesting about spirits fighting spirits? Just then Little Black's stomach growled. It seemed it was hungry again. Min Lang could only give it some temporary grouper, as the silkworms were still not big enough. The next day, Min Lang was busy looking for food for Little Black. The heart could switch to working at the Dragon Selection Hall, but as it grew, it ate more like a bottomless pit. Only money could solve this. Besides, Baikai also liked to eat nectar. He had to wait for it to wake up, and then feed it well. Chuk Min Lang, stop right there. Din pinched his nose when he got close to Min Lang, not understanding why he was cleaning dragon dung. This was a job for servants, and seeing Min Lang had fallen so low, he immediately ordered him to clean the rooms of everyone. Min Lang immediately retorted, why the hell do I have to do menial work for them? Was Din angrily threw the broom, reasoning extremely poorly. You didn't come to the spirit competition yesterday, so you are considered to have lost your rights. The weakest should go clean up. Min Lang was at a loss for words. Anyone who participates in the fight must take responsibility. It's reasonable. And since Min Lang didn't participate, you don't need to help me clean the room, nor do I need to clean for anyone in that group. Din was frustrated, secretly thinking Min Lang was acting all high and mighty. If he had the ability, he should compete with that wolf keeper. Then he said Min Lang carried a basket of silkworms home for Little Black. These past few days, it had been skinny because it had only been eating grouper. Upon seeing the basket of silkworms, Little Black immediately spat out the fish in its mouth and jumped into the basket of silkworms. Half a day passed, and Little Black held its round belly, releasing the smell of silkworms. Min Lang gradually became worried. The amount of silkworms traded for cleaning the Dragon Selection Hall was not enough to feed its mouth anymore. He wondered if there was anything else to replace it. Min Lang suddenly remembered that when he returned from the Dragon Selection Hall, having completed the Academy's task, it seemed he received a reward. On the task board, it was all about going to the battlefield to break down strongholds. Some tasks of Dragon Masters involved the Academy too. Among them was a mission to attack Dan City Wutu. Evil supernatural beings had appeared here, currently occupying the stronghold, sacrificing the souls of the populace and slaves to practice dark arts, threatening the safety of the people for 3 months. If completed, they would receive 1/4 of the taxes from Dan City, which was no small sum. But Min Lang was afraid he wouldn't be able to do it. If Bai Kai didn't degenerate the spine, he would have fought already. Min Lang then read another task which would allow him to earn money while also training Little Black to eliminate the Ban fish spirits in Huli Trien, which cried out incessantly at night, often laying eggs along the shore, affecting the aesthetics of Huli Trien. Some even attacked fishermen committing heinous crimes. Within half a month, if completed, he would be rewarded with a golden sand grain. Ming Lang immediately sent Little Black to Huli Trien. It jumped into the water to explore. When the fish spirits formed a school, they would alert the others in the school of an attacking enemy by splashing their tails. So the whole group could avoid Little Black's attacks. Although these fish swam faster, they weren't too fast, so they still had a chance. Little Black swam a few rounds and was tired floating on the water's surface, looking at Min Lang. Min Lang then took it to the Dao Long waterfall for Little Black to train increasing its speed against the water's resistance. Little Black didn't want to, but Min Lang threw it into the water. At night, Little Black Dizzy crawled onto the shore, lying flat on the ground. Its heart could be heard echoing, "I'm so tired." "Hoo-hoo," Min Lang announced. "Today's training is over. Let's go home and eat silkworms." And so Little Black regained its energy, immediately coiling its legs, wanting to run back. A week later, Little Black leveled up again. Min Lang felt it was time to go catch those fish spirits. Little Black dove to attack, breaking up their school, then pursued each one. Little Black clamped each fish spirit in its mouth, throwing it up for Min Lang to catch. Mission accomplished. Min Lang held the golden sand grain in his hand. This would definitely buy him a lot of delicious silkworms and nectar for Bai Kai. Suddenly someone called Min Lang. "I finally found you." Phuong Niem Niem, the peach seller, found Min Lang, forcing him to buy all her peaches because of their bet. Min Lang immediately presented his credential from the Dragon Training Academy. "Now let's see who owes whom." Niem Niem was startled. "You really are a student of the Dragon Training Academy? Where is your dragon?" Yet Min Lang did not allow her to make a scene. He wanted the biggest, freshest, juiciest peach. Niem Niem pouted, "In my house, it's all peaches. Wait until I sell all the peaches today, then I will give them to Min Lang." Min Lang then asked her if she knew anywhere selling nectar and silkworms. Niem Niem proudly declared, "In this whole Phuong Day town, there's nothing my family doesn't sell at favorable prices, quality products." Min Lang waved his hand, not needing her to advertise anymore. "Set aside some silkworms and nectar. As long as the quality is good, I will buy from you in the future." Min Lang wanted to reserve 10 baskets of silkworms and 10 jars of nectar, but he only had 1 golden sand grain, making Niem Niem furious. "You're so poor." Niem Niem pointed towards the distant boathouse. "There, it's not just beautiful women. There are also handsome men. If you want to make money, go over there. After all, you're quite handsome. Maybe the ants will like you." Min Lang was angry. "Out of respect for our acquaintance, I will support her, so you must lower it to 10 baskets of silkworms and 8 jars of nectar." Niem Niem still haggled down to 7, saying, "If Min Lang finds a second place selling nectar here, I will change my surname to yours." Min Lang was half skeptical, half believing, but in the end he still made a deal with Niem Niem. At this time, Niem Niem had latched onto another person. Her attitude completely changed. 180 degrees. "Long time no see. Sister, you have given birth again. I am a daughter with a heart thumping too." Min Lang was cursing when he realized she seemed to be Vantu. Min Lang happily asked, "Are you here to see me?" The girl seemed confused, not recognizing Min Lang. Niem Niem pouted disdainfully. "Little brother with that level shouldn't aim too high." Nam Lindiu's sister eat a peach and ignore him. Nam Lindiu had returned to the academy for something. Min Lang remembered to scold his name. Niem Niem said Lindiu was the great beauty of the Dragon Training Academy. "Didn't you know?" Min Lang scratched his head. making an excuse that he only practiced so he wasn't very clear about the situation at the academy. Nim Nim introduced Lindiu, the eldest daughter of the Nam family. Hearing this, Min Lang frowned. Could it be you mistook someone? Mẹ. At this time, at the family, Kong Dong was discussing something with Lahir related to Vantu's marriage. She handed Lahir a document saying it was an order from clan leader Le An to be delivered to him. Wutu sent a united city causing a riot to seize Donghuk City. The army in the city had all gone there, ordering Lahir to set off tomorrow to teach them a lesson. Unlike previous achievements, completing this mission would definitely increase your reputation in the city. Lahir carried the hope that completing the mission would allow him to marry Vantu, willing to devote himself to not disappoint Le An and Kong Dong and Kong. Additionally, Kong Dong suddenly asked Lahir if he knew Min Lang. Lahir was taken aback. Miss Vantu said he was from the tribe. Could it be he isn't? Kong Dong waved her hand. There is no one named Min Lang in the mansion, but she did not say anything more, planning to investigate Min Lang herself first. As for Lahir, he will go to Donghuk City to carry out his mission. Lahir nodded, a fire of resentment rising in his heart. He had long suspected that Min Lang had some issues, but why was Vantu covering for him? At this moment, Min Lang was at the academy sneezing continuously. Who told that Lahir to keep cursing him? Suddenly, the spirit domain activated the signal. Baikai was finally about to bloom. It appeared with sleek fur, a fancy ombre, and a splendid crystal effect, quite different from Xiaohei. However, Min Lang noticed that it didn't look much like the Baikai from before. Baikai was adorable, rubbing its cheeks against Min Lang, whining for food. Min Lang understood immediately. Luckily, he had prepared some nectar for it beforehand. Baikai stealthily tasted the nectar. Xiaohei, greedy for food, also wanted to come up and ask for a bite. Min Lang introduced the two. From now on, you will be teammates. Xiaohei eagerly wanted to get to know the beautiful girl, but Baikai shot it a cold glance. Xiaohei immediately froze. Who told it to have such a twisted expression? While the three of them were playing together outside, a group of students was heading to the festival. Min Lang suddenly remembered that there was a class today, and almost missed his first lesson. In the lecture hall of the Chuanlong Academy, there were rumors that recently some Liu Kim fire spirits were causing trouble in Donghuk City. Even thugs wouldn't do that. In Long City, there were quite a few people cursing Mulongshi of the Liu Kim fire dragon. As soon as you hear it, you know they are talking about Lahir. Although he was cruel and violent, there were still some people who thought that a man should make achievements on the battlefield. Some said, wait until my spirit transforms into a dragon, then I will attack a city. By then I will invite everyone to my city for a visit. Tuding felt that if it transformed into a dragon, it would surely be Manhwa. His spirit was originally a dragon offspring. It had already released some low-level magic, unlike the struggling ones like them. The group looked at Manhwa with envious eyes. Really? So it turns out Manhwa has a spirit dragon. That's impressive. The one with the spirit wolf smirked. His wolf will turn into a dragon sooner or later. Don't talk about dragon offspring. He was confident that his wolf could bite a dragon offspring. Manhwa frowned in disdain. This idiot doesn't seem to differentiate between a dragon and a beast, does he? Even if it's only a spirit, it could still tear your wolf into pieces. The owner of the spirit wolf then shifted the topic to Min Lang. In this academy, apart from you, everyone else has been beaten by him. Now he is provoking Manhwa to fight Min Lang. Min Lang originally thought he was a brainless hothead, but it turned out he was a petty person, stirring up trouble for others, hitting two targets with one arrow. Manhwa remembered Min Lang's face as well. He recalled that the boy had a past of cleaning up dragon dung. Perhaps he had found some treasure to eat. Is it that chicken you are holding? There's no need for my 6 dragons to take action against it. I could crush it with just one hand. Min Lang was shocked for the second time. He didn't expect that in order to show off in front of the girls, Manhwa would intentionally bring up his past of cleaning dung to humiliate Min Lang. Min Lang could endure being humiliated, but if he dared to touch his adorable Baikai, he shouldn't expect to remain intact. Baikai, who was sleeping soundly, immediately opened its eyes and flew into the sky to flaunt its sleek feather coat. The girls were immediately attracted to it. Oh, it's so beautiful. What kind of dragon is this? Manhwa was indeed jealous, his eyes bursting with envy. Baikai is just using its appearance to attract others' attention. It has no real ability. Baikai landed on a nearby rock, glaring at Manhwa. Namhwa was angry and wanted to use the special move he had just learned yesterday. Damn, does this chicken dare to provoke me? Do you want to fight? I will grant your wish. Both men and women exclaimed, oh, I didn't expect Namhwa to be a real Mulong so soon after enrolling with a special skill already. Namhwa opened a portal and summoned a large spiked dragon, terrifying the nearby young men. The owner of the wolf felt he was clever for using Minlang to probe Namhwa first. Otherwise, his wolf would have been cut in half by now. Namhwa stroked his hair silently, reminding himself to maintain his aloof image. Do you see, this is the gap between this chicken and my 6 dragons? The girls screamed, calling themselves Namhwa's wives. Who would have thought he had such abilities? Namhwa ordered the 6 dragons to pluck Baikai's feathers without holding back at all. The 6 dragons opened their mouths wide, but their attack was easily dodged by Baikai. Baikai turned its face, its sparkling eyes looked as if it was reproaching. Are you scolding me? Baikai flew up, preparing to counterattack. It flapped its wings, creating a tornado. Next, Baikai dove straight down like an arrow, piercing straight into the chest of the 6 dragons, making it scream. The 6 dragons were blown back by the attack, soaring past Namhwa's stunned face. The 6 dragons crashed into the wall, creating quite a dust cloud. Baikai looked up, stepping on the 6 dragons' nose with its 4 forest legs. At this point, it had passed out. Everyone present was stunned, dazed, and the rest admired Baikai's beauty. Everyone wished to have a beautiful and powerful dragon like that. Namhwa gritted his teeth and cursed, Dong Sak Mat Sa Sam, due to rising anger. Damn it! Minlang raised his hand and commanded Xiao Baikai come back. Though it swooped down, its purple eyes sparkling in the rosy glow, he smiled as he welcomed the little spirit beast to land on his shoulder. Baikai gently flapped its white wings and rubbed its head against Minlang's hair. A voice rang out, It's real, it's a real dragon. Hong Hao spoke up. I knew it all along. Zhuge is usually quiet but very strong. Indeed, today has opened my eyes, Tudin added. That's right, when I enrolled, I already saw Zhuge's extraordinary demeanor, unlike ordinary people. Indeed, I have been enlightened. Suddenly, 2 young ladies approached him. So impressive. In the future, Zhuge will definitely be a very strong Mulongshu. Jingxi continued, The young dragon of Zhuge Minglang is so strong and beautiful. The other girl said, Lang Gege, do you have a girlfriend yet? What type do you like? He felt helpless and remained silent. Minlang thought to himself, no wonder Xiao Baikai is already so strong at such a young age. My glorious days are about to return. He spoke up. Your dragon. From now on, take your time to nurture it. It has great potential. Ye Namhwa hung his head in anger. He raised his hand to retract the summoned beast, the electric light around him gradually subsiding. Go back, Bishlam. His 6 pupils shrank, killing intent surging. It roared, smashing the surrounding vines, its violent aura erupting. Namhwa smugly said, It has leveled up. To everyone's astonishment, Bishlam opened its mouth, gathering purple light in its throat. Lightning rippled all over its body, advancing towards Minlang. He remained silent, thinking. The deafening roar echoed throughout the hall. He and the little spirit beast stood dazed in the courtyard. The 2 young ladies exclaimed in panic, How annoying. Minlang smiled and said, Namhwa, what did I say? Your dragon has great potential. You see, in the previous round I won, and in this round I'll consider it a draw. Yet he replied, Don't talk nonsense. How can there be 2 rounds? I haven't retracted it yet, and the competition hasn't finished. Your wild chicken is just a wild chicken. Don't think that inheriting some wind manipulation power can compare to my true dragon. He raised his hands in surrender. Then I concede. Baikai shot forward, causing Minlang to exclaim loudly, Xiao Baikai. It dove down right next to Bichlam, its feathers fluttering violently. He frowned, contemplating. Is that the fighting spirit of Xiao Baikai? Is it taking this seriously? Baikai soared up, facing Bichlam, a radiant halo bursting in the air. It flapped its wings, and the green spirit light spiraled into a barrier like a whirlpool, enveloping the main hall. Ice crystals condensed, booming, solidifying the thorny vines into thick ice blocks. Baikai spun around, sweeping its wings to shatter the incoming snakes. Bichlam unleashed a purple evil aura, reaching out its claws to catch it. Baikai spread its wings, letting out a loud cry, weaving through the light to counterattack. Minlang anxiously shouted, Be careful, it's poisonous. Bishlam's toxic aura spread throughout the hall, the pressure swirling like waves. People panicked and fled. Oh my, so fast. Din exclaimed in fright as she saw the pillar being corroded by the purple poison. Running while holding her head, she said, "Run quickly. The Luklam dragon is too powerful. If you get poisoned, you'll be corroded." Inside the cracked eyes, a shadow opened its glowing eyes. Baikai curled its wings, forming an ice ring to block the poison and the poisonous thorns outside. It flapped its wings, bursting forth with spirit light, becoming a tornado, like a drill diving straight down onto Bishlam. Minglang quietly commanded, "5 fingers gather." Compressing blue spirit power into a seal, he shot it forward. He spoke, "Xiaobaikai, fly outside. Don't fight it here anymore." Minglang thought to himself, "No, Xiaobaikai is too aggressive. As long as the Luklam dragon touches Baikai, I can forcibly summon the spirit domain." Lahir laughed smugly. "Are you scared? It's too late? Are you trying to forcibly summon the spirit race? That attack, if it hits the seal, your soul will suffer all the damage. I advise you to give up." Baikai opened its wide eyes, the marking on its forehead glowing. The blue runes spiraled behind it, spreading its wings, gathering spirit power to explode, forming sparkling ice crystals swirling around its body and tail. The tail whip, like an ice whip, swept horizontally, tearing through the thorny vines. Suddenly it stabbed its tail with the ice crystal into Bishlam's eye. The ice shot straight through the pupil, freezing the entire space, making the whole shudder and crack. Both Hongha and Tiuding were horrified, exclaiming, "What kind of monsters are those two? Are there really 2 true Mulongshi among these new students?" With a flap of the wings, dust exploded and silver feathers scattered throughout the hall. Through the dust curtain, Baikai soared up. It gently landed on Minlang's shoulder, folding its wings. He looked at it, smiling in satisfaction. Bishlam bared its fangs, roaring its evil aura, surging from its mouth, restrained by ice. Its 4 limbs struggled, howling in pain. Manhwa exclaimed in shock, "How can this be? It was so close to the Dragon Gate. Who would have thought it would be defeated by this trashy spirit?" A voice echoed back, "That's the Ice God White Dragon." Along with the previous voice, a lady appeared. Everyone greeted Teacher Duanlam, "Hello, teacher." Minlang was surprised, his eyes wide open, thinking, "Teacher." Duanlam turned to him and said, "Your performance is not bad. Go back to your seat." Namhua spoke up, "Sister Lam, Teacher Duan Lam, me Luk Lam Dragon." She held a vial in her hand, telling him, "Apply this on your Luk Lam Dragon. It will recover quickly. You should thank Zhu Gaminglang. If it hadn't stabbed directly into your Luk Lam Dragon's eye, that would have been a fatal point." Namhua was surprised and asked, "Has Luk Lam Dragon gone blind?" Duan Lam continued, "All right, today we will learn about dragon bloodlines. Dragons are divided into 3 types of bloodlines: ancient dragons, giant dragons, and spirit dragons." Below, everyone listened attentively. She continued, "Ancient dragons possess combat skills. Giant dragons can use magic, while spirit dragons are mystical. For example, Namhua's Luklam dragon is a standard giant dragon. Those green vines are the Luklam magic it possesses." Minlang raised his voice, "Teacher, what about the Ice God White Dragon? What type of bloodline is that?" Duan Lam replied, "The ice magic of the White Dragon of Zhu Geminglang, using Silver Moon as a source, belongs to the Spirit Dragon bloodline. The second type is the Ice Storm Dragon, which belongs to the Giant Dragon. In the last battle, it used wind magic without employing Spirit Dragon mystical techniques. As I explained earlier, any being must go through 4 stages: infancy, maturity, adulthood, and the complete true dragon. Breaking down the subsequent ranks: Dragon Offspring, Dragon Master, Dragon General, and Dragon King. Like Namhua's Luklam Dragon, it becomes Dragon Offspring only after reaching adulthood. The Ice God White Dragon at infancy is already at the Dragon Offspring level. It has the potential to reach Dragon General level. Zhuge Minglang, you must nurture it carefully." Baikai, lying on his shoulder, had long since fallen asleep. Tiuding commented in surprise at how strong this little white dragon was. "Zhuge Minglang is so lucky to have such a powerful bloodline." He glanced at her, not bothering to respond. Minlang thought that Baikai was not unable to use mystical techniques, but that after leaving the cocoon, the spirit dragon transformation had not yet awakened. Previously, Baikai could not use giant dragon magic, saying that Baikai's degeneration is not a reversal of life, but a form of rebirth transformation. Duan Lam comforted, "Namhua, you don't need to be sad. Everyone can have many fields, Perhaps one day you can also have a very powerful bloodline. Take your time to practice. There's no rush. He frowned silently, pondering. Manhwa thought to himself, one day I will surpass you. Minlang sat with his chin resting on his hand, while Baikai sat eating nectar happily. Saying that from the infancy stage to the maturity stage of Xiao Baikai is very important. If it is not nurtured well, the spirit dragon, mystical techniques may be lost and cannot awaken. This amount of nectar is only enough for Xiao Baikai to eat for a week. Where to find more nectar? He was startled by a call, as Zhuge Minglang had not finished speaking, when Heya rushed to her. Duanlam Master Minlang thought to himself, damn it, that lustful dragon. Duanlam hugged Heya in her arms, saying, can Zhuge Minglang help me with something? He replied, of course. She stopped at a place with a waterfall flowing into a beautiful blue lake, continuing, there is a 100-year-old water monster under this lake. Although not very strong, it is very cautious. Every time I call the Chamxuan Long, it will dive to the bottom of the lake. Using mystical techniques to force it out is simple, but it could easily harm other beings. Using a normal child won't attract it at all, so I want to ask your little Heya to lure it out. Minlang patted its head, saying, little Heya, you have to remember, once the opponent rushes towards you, you must immediately surface. Absolutely do not let it catch the remaining part. Just leave it to the Dragon Master of Duanlam, understand. It teared up and said, you mean to use me as bait? How unreasonable. Heya rushed over to Duanlam, comfortingly saying, it's okay. She stroked it and said, don't worry, it won't be dangerous. You are also very strong. Heya replied, I can do it, I will succeed. He stood helplessly, silently watching it. Heya dove swiftly into the clear water. Minlang stood attentively, straining his eyes to track the shadow gliding swiftly beneath the water. The surface of the lake suddenly swirled violently, a red-purple lightning streak painting the hunting path of the monster. Heya crossed the surface, panicking and shedding tears, crying out, Mom! The water splashed violently, sending fish flying off the lake's surface. He anxiously turned to look at her, saying, Duanlam Master. She replied, not yet. The catfish rushed in as if to swallow Heya whole. It screamed in fright, help! Minlang raised his hand to form a seal, gathering green spirit power into a spell formation in the palm of his hand, quietly preparing to launch an attack. Duanlam turned around and said, if you save it now, it means you have given up on the Dragon Gate. One day, it will have to leave your protection and face dangers worse than this. If you cannot break through your potential, you will not be able to transform into a true dragon. He thought to himself, indeed, he was worrying too much. If the young eagle does not confront its fear at the cliff, they will become food for other predatory birds. His gaze was tense, sweat beating down. Minlang was very worried about Heya. The catfish rose up, roaring, splashing water, causing the surface of the lake to ripple. It opened its mouth wide as if to swallow Heya whole. Heya dove down into the water like an arrow. It was terrified to see the catfish shooting pink lightning from its eyes towards itself. It opened its mouth to roar as if when Heya emitted lightning wrapping around its chest, glowing brightly. It charged like a lightning bolt, piercing straight into the catfish's throat. This is the Trung Ngak kick technique. The pressure from Heya above was intense, and it was frightened, struggling in the water. The heavenly scale roared, charging directly at the water monster. It had just been attacked by the lightning, hence had been injured, lying belly up in the blue water. It quickly rushed in, biting into the catfish's back, blood splattering. The heavenly scale ripped off one of its horns, blood spraying everywhere. The catfish howled, thrashing wildly, its tentacles flailing and red blood pouring out. Minlang was horrified, his eyes wide open, staring at the lake before Duanlam's calm demeanor. It flipped over, creating a whirlpool stained red. He anxiously exclaimed, "It's over, little Heya." Just as it was about to sink, Heya was pulled up by the heavenly scale's tail, saving it. Wrapping its tail, it lifted Heya and brought it straight to the shore. Minlang joyfully shouted, "Little Heya." The heavenly scale said, "Little Heya, look even." It is surprised. "You did great." He smiled and hugged Heya tightly. It also hugged Minlang and said, "That water monster was killed by me and the Chamxuan Long together." The heavenly scale emerged from the water, raising its neck, staring at him and Heya. Minlang said, "Duanlam, master." Before he could finish speaking, she turned and left. Duanlam held the red pearl in her hand, the spirit power erupting into waves of light. She spoke, "This is the spirit pearl of that water monster. Consider it a reward for little Heya. It can help little Heya become a dragon soon." Minlang took it and said, "Thank you, teacher." Duanlam climbed onto the heavenly scale and continued, "You don't need to thank me, you deserve it. You can come to my place tonight to get a vial of nectar. This nectar is more suitable for your dragon than ordinary nectar. Consider it a reward from me." The moonlit night was quiet, the moon illuminating the courtyard, while the room remained brightly lit. Inside the room he spoke while Bai Kai was gulping down a jar of nectar. "There will be more later. Take your time, don't rush." Minlang thought that the nectar of the old master was very suitable for Xiao Bai Kai. He smiled at it with its round belly, thinking that the food issue for Xiao Bai Kai and Xiao Heiya had been resolved. "Tomorrow I have to go to the library to check if there are any books on dragon-raising experiences preparing for when these two grow up." In the morning at the Muklong Academy library, Minlang thought to himself that according to the records of these two books, whether it was the Silver Moon Responding Dragon or the Ice Storm Dragon, the time from infancy to maturity was only about a year. This is indeed a dragon clan with a relatively fast growth rate. He focused on the book, thinking that Xiao Bai Kai would also need about a year to reach maturity. Plus, with the spirit domain and nectar for nurturing, it would probably only take a month. Minlang closed the book, continuing to ponder. If I feed it entirely with the old nectar, it could shorten the time to only 20 days. Furthermore, the ice feather technique and ice magic of Bai Kai will become even stronger. He sighed thoughtfully. Little Heya is getting stronger. Raising dragons is indeed expensive. Minlang's eyes widened when he saw a book on the shelf. He smugly read it. Giant dragons enjoy collecting gold and treasures. Robbing dragon blood is the quickest way to make money. But Minlang placed the book back on the shelf, thinking, "Forget it, perhaps I can only do as before." He suddenly paused as if attracted by something. Minlang was shocked to see someone standing opposite him, thinking, "Nam Linsa or Le Vantu." So Minlang forced a smile and said, "What a coincidence we meet again." She coldly replied, "Do you think it's a coincidence?" He didn't know who she was, so he had to randomly choose a name and asked, "Vantu, did you come to visit me?" Linsa, with a fierce expression, replied, "I came to kill you." What Minlang sadly thought she wanted to kill him because he had ruined her reputation. He asked, "Then why didn't you strike before?" Linsa replied, "I have thought it through these days. Letting you live is like poison quietly stabbing into my heart every day, tormenting me. So why not give you a complete end to this?" Minlang continued. "Torment, I can clearly understand that fate has arranged and played with both of our fates. I am hiding here, raising dragons, reading books, just to let you bear that filthy humiliation alone." Linsa looked at him and asked, "Do you have any last words?" As she prepared to act, he spoke, "I was thinking you are different from other girls. Even if you endure such humiliation, you don't direct your anger at others. You are still very special in my heart." Linsa fell silent. Her face darkened, her arms trembling without responding. Minlang continued, "Forget it. No matter what, I thank you for introducing me here, giving me a not bad time here." Linsa smiled, raising her hand to gather sparkling pink-purple spirit power, saying, "She even brought you here." Minlang pointed at Linsa, saying, "You are not Levantu, you are Nam Linsa." She replied, "I am Levantu's younger sister." He asked, "Are you twins?" Woot Linsa replied, "She takes our father's surname, I take our mother's. She is with the Le family, I am with the Nam family." Linsa angrily swung her hand and he narrowly escaped. She said, "Indeed, the beggar who ruined my reputation, turning Levantu from a noble lady into a humiliated one, is you. Levantu still keeps this life for you and even brought you to Chunlong Academy." She looked at Minlang and said, "You are so fortunate that now I have to wear a veil when I go out. If it weren't for many people knowing that we are twin sisters, I would have lost my reputation long ago." He spoke, "Distinguished Linsa, there are things that are not as you think. She can testify for me, proving the quality of Juga Minglang." Linsa responded, "You think the relationship between my sister and I is harmonious and loving. How can it be?" She still thinks that the current tragedy is orchestrated by me. Minglang smiled gently. "Is that so? Then I am also a victim now." He thought to himself about being tricked by this little girl. What to do now? Linsa shouted angrily, "Shut up! This lady has nothing to do with you." She stared at him saying, "You look decent, but why are you rumored to be a filthy, smelly, despicable beggar?" Minlang proudly said, "Actually, I am quite handsome, right?" Linsa said, "You are indeed shameless." She grabbed his collar, asking, "What is going on between you two? It's best to confess honestly. Otherwise, I will make sure you die a horrible death." Mr. Minlang replied, "All right, I'll tell you." He began to explain while crying. "Here's what happened. I originally lived in the south of Tangjen. My family had mulberry trees and land. Life was leisurely and carefree. Who would have known those bandits would be so arrogant, robbing everything I had, leading me to end up on the streets? Who would have known I would end up eating poisoned porridge?" Linsa kicked Minlang, sending him flying, saying, "This stinking beggar don't put words in other people's mouths." He protested. "This is all true." She said, "I know why Levantu didn't kill you." Minlang asked, "Why?" The Linsa leaned on her hands, continuing, "With your reputation as a beggar, you have no fighting ability." She crossed her arms in front of her chest, continuing, "If you die, you will die with the lowly identity of a beggar. Then the one who ruined her noble lady reputation will forever just be a filthy beggar. But if you stay alive, you will have the opportunity to escape from this lowly identity. Even if you become a low-level Mulongshu, it's still better than being a dirty beggar." Linsa sighed. "Levantu, or Levantu, is this your way of healing wounds? You brought him here betting on his future." Linsa took her veil and left, saying, "You handle your own matters." Just as she left, a group of people entered discussing, "Lahir is so powerful. Why haven't I heard about this person before? Even the commoners in Ngothu dare not cause trouble anymore. It seems he has gained fame quickly." Now in Long City, perhaps many people know the name Lahir. The fame of Lahir has already spread to Ngoto. Vin City is also under his management. Speaking of Vin City, do you all know about that? The other person replied, "Who doesn't know? I have the latest information. It is said that the noble lady has always been very lewd. There were rumors before. While fighting in the west in the Wuling Tiao city, she sent the strongest soldiers to her tent for her service." Linsa glanced at them, then fell silent. Minlang, with eyes as cold as a knife, remained silent, as if deep in thought. He was startled, his hand frozen in midair, while the little white spirit beast peered out from his collar looking around. Baikai said, "Don't forget you are the strongest genius." Minlang said, "That's right. I don't need to care about what others say. I must quickly become the strongest Mulongshu to not disappoint her expectations." He continued, "I have confirmed my goal." Minlang raised his hand, "Breakthrough to the Dragon Master level." Baikai echoed, "Dragon Master." They saw and began to discuss him again. "It's over. There's another person who has lost his mind choosing to raise a dragon as if it's a gamble. Many people have fallen into ruin, but I hope this classmate doesn't fall into that path." Minglang and the two spirit beasts rested by the quiet lake. He spoke, "To raise a dragon while being poor like this is not enough. My family, the Juge, is famous for armor making. If we can make dragon armor, we will earn a fortune." That Baikai and Heya also said, "That's right, it's really awesome." Minglang spoke, "Unfortunately, I didn't pay attention to this before. This is my family's traditional craft, but it has not yet reached the peak level." Heya looked at him feeling helpless and silent. Minlang reassured it, "But don't worry, even so, with my skills, in just a few months I can definitely create a champion armor." Heya's eyes sparkled upon hearing him say, "Tomorrow, I will go to the forge in Long City to find a job to hone my skills. When I return, I'll earn money to buy food for both of you." A day later, he entered the forge. As soon as he arrived at the door, he was panting, thinking, "After a few years of raising dragons, my health is not what it used to be. My limbs are about to break. What did Fuang Nian say before? Buddha, I don't want to strive anymore." Minlang proudly looked at the armor, saying, "Now I can easily create armor for soldiers. If I can sell it to those soldiers, I can maintain my current expenses." He continued, "Moreover, relying on my skills making armor for dragons is also within my reach." Minglang opened the door while saying, "By the way, there will be a travel lesson in the next few days. I need to prepare a bit." He was astonished when he saw Heya. The effects of this 200-year-old spirit pearl are too obvious. It's only been more than half a month, and you have grown so much. It seems that from now on, I will have to call you Big Heya. Minglang patted it and said, "I have a travel class, so I will have to go out for a few days. I can only leave you to take care of yourself." Atheya sadly said, "It's so pitiful." Yet he continued, "This is the color of the spirit. You wear it temporarily on your tail to avoid being mistaken for a wild crocodile that will be slaughtered." Yao Toaya. Minlang carefully instructed, "Every morning you just go to the bridge. There will be a girl who is also quite cute to feed you mulberry." He replied, "Got it." At the Lei family's royal courtyard, Lei An announced, "Today we will announce 2 marriages." He continued, "Listen carefully to what I say. It is the announcement of one lady." Taisatile Moting looked at Vantu and said, "Indeed, Motin, I also really like to fulfill my duties. A pure young lady, Motin, has reached an appropriate age. Marriage arranged by elders can also be considered a contribution to the family." Vantu glanced at her with half an eye, remaining silent. A voice rang out. Last year, Le Lohi attended the New Year's party at the Tongkung with the old lady, and the 4th young master of Tongkung Dotan liked Le Lohi at first sight. Le Lohi will come to Tongkung next month with us to promote this marriage. She spoke up. Lohi is willing to listen to the arrangements of the elders, but I still need to meet him myself to understand the situation. If his mood is foul, not respecting his elders, I will decide again as the family head. A young lady spoke up. Is Dothan this person only liking my sister from afar? My sister is indeed worthy of being a national beauty. Motin added, Dothan is a good person. The pure Kwe girl Moting has reached an appropriate age, and the matter of marriage or betrothal is generally considered to be decided by the elders, which is regarded as a contribution to the clan. Vantu glanced at her with half an eye, remaining silent. A voice spoke up. Last year, Le Lohi attended the New Year's banquet at the clan hall with the old matriarch and the 4th young lord of the clan hall. Dothan liked Le Lohi at first sight. Le Lohi will come to the clan hall with us next month to facilitate this marriage. She spoke up. Lohi is willing to follow the arrangements of the elders, but I still need to meet him in person to understand the situation. If he has a bad temperament and does not respect his elders, I will have the matriarch decide again. A young woman spoke up. Dothan has only seen my sister from afar and has already taken a liking to her. My sister truly lives up to the title of national beauty. Motin continued, Dothan is a good person. His reputation is well known, and I hear that the eldest lady of the Lang family from Langtiu City wanted to meet her, but was turned down. Ye Hongdong continued, there is another marriage proposal. We have decided to marry Levantu into the Lang family in Langtiu City. She fell silent, as if contemplating, her eyes revealing an unyielding look. A man thought to himself, how can this be? Everyone knows I will marry Levantu, yet they... He stood up and said, Matriarch, this matter. Le man turned to him sharply. Lahir, sit still. Shish. He helplessly sat down with a dazed expression. Chintuk spoke. Madam, could this also be part of the strategy for the play at Langtiu City we discussed earlier? And she replied, that's right. He continued, but as a female general, Levantu led her troops to Langtiu City and wiped out the army not just once. The people of Langtiu City all hate Levantu. How could they agree to a marriage alliance with us? Mini Kongdong added, a regular marriage alliance, Langtiu City will certainly not agree. But Levantu entering the Le family is too... She smirked and continued, keep going. Thuk shouted angrily, what kind of marriage alliance is this? Everyone began to chatter excitedly. That's right, this is too absurd. Then what face do we have as the Tulong City? Let's assume Levantu has some bond with the Vuto people, but she is still our female general. Leanne stood up and said, all right, the soldiers in the west have lost morale because of Levantu. It will be hard to withstand the strong advance of Langtiu City. This is the only way to negotiate. Wait until the Vuto rebellion settles down. We will definitely make Langtiu City pay back for this. Let's decide on that. Anyone else have different opinions? Better to chop off than let this go? He turned away and said, everyone back off. Honglo followed closely behind. Lahir angry gritted his teeth, thinking, damn it, my Levantu. This bunch of bastards. Everyone continued to discuss without knowing she was behind. Levantu is not even worth casually marrying a servant. After all, she is the concubine of the city lord. If she serves well, she might live better than some obedient young ladies like us. On this matter, she is certainly not bad. After all, her waist can curve thanks to a lowly beggar. Thuk angrily spoke, it's really too noisy. Vantu stood still without speaking. He sighed while looking at her, saying, Vantu, you... She looked at him and replied, I'm fine. Thuk continued, Your father is indeed too easily influenced by the young madam. No matter what, you have made great contributions to the city. Now you are sending people into the wolf's den to the enemy. He continued, You go, I'll help you escape. Go find a real husband and live well. She coldly said, Trintuk Vantu has never wanted to run away. He angrily shouted, Don't want to. Do you want to endure this humiliation? The Lei family is not worth you using your whole life to trade for a poor piece. As for the border, even if I have to risk my old life, I won't let the beasts of Langtiu city step in a single foot. Vantu spoke, Chintuk, do you know why the Vutho rebellion has never been pacified from beginning to end? He said, the barbaric Vutho has always coveted the vast fertile land of our Tulong city. But as long as we make a move, we can definitely wipe out all the rebellious Vutho people. She spoke, the rebellious Vutho can't be wiped out. Thuk scratched his head and continued, at this point, don't think about them anymore. You should worry about yourself more. Vantu slammed her hand on the bridge, declaring, I will not run away. So Minlang was riding a spirit beast with others when he suddenly jumped in. He thought winter is coming soon. Hongha and Tiujin were talking. This time on the trip, we might see Thunglong summon rain and wind. Just thinking about it makes me excited. Indeed, Thunglong is the top dragon, although even Thunglong might not necessarily summon rain and wind. Duan Lam spoke. That is right, the mysterious technique can summon rain and snow. Each type of dragon has different abilities. Even if they are all of the same dragon bloodline, they can develop and enhance their abilities during growth and training. Minlang thought Hak Nya, who loves to fight, is of the main bloodline, so it will be closer to the ancient dragon. If equipped with a set of heavy armor, surely there is nothing it can't break. Bak Kai holds the bloodline of Thunglong and Kulong. The Kulong's magic I've seen before. I wonder how it will perform its mysterious arts in the future. The wall of Kokvin stood tall with an imposing curved roof building above. Everyone landed. A man stepped forward and respectfully welcomed the two masters of Cao Vien Li Xuan. Chabak spoke, high mountains and ice will accumulate streams. Using them for irrigation will lead to a water shortage. How could the Lord of Vinkok City not foresee this? The Eastern Hook Stronghold, just over 50 miles away, is a frontline battlefield that needs to supply food. If those lowly Vutho people attack, do you think your head will still be intact? It's. Chidu said, the master taught very well. A month ago I came to Long City to find Wulong and didn't see many capable Long Masters like Master Chabak and Master Doan Lam. Fortunately, Cao Vien Li Xuan, hearing the urgent plea, invited the two masters here to summon rain for the people. The two masters and the Moklong students are invited to rest in the mansion first. He continued, if it concerns the frontline battle, there is no time to delay. Let's start now. And Trindu raised a hand to stop. It can't be done. It's coming soon. The temperature will drop significantly. The rain the two masters summon will condense into hail, which would harm crops and the winter grasslands. Duan Lam continued, okay, then let's talk about it tomorrow. He said, invite Chabak to sulk and leave. He turned around and said, this rain summoning is mainly due to Duan Lam's Tram Sun Long. You all perform the mysterious arts of Thung Long. Get up early tomorrow. Don't miss the opportunity. The disciples replied in unison, yes. Night covered the tall building on the city wall of Kok Vin under the purple sky. On the top of the roof, there was a shadow of a person sitting. Minlang thought, is another battle about to start? As he pondered, that bastard seems to have grown stronger. If my affair with Vantu gets exposed, he will definitely be the first to come and kill me. My current strength is still too weak. A voice came from behind Chuk Minlang. He turned around and called out, Duan Lam teacher. She said, the rain summoning can only temporarily moisten the crops. Regardless of irrigation or livestock, a large water source will be needed later. Duan Lam continued, I hope at dawn you can go along the stream upstream to check if anything is blocking the water flow, cutting off the water source. She said, don't go too far. There are monsters in the deep forest. Return before the rain summoning. Yes, Minglang respectfully replied, understood. Dawn broke sunlight streamed through the tree canopy, marking the start of a new day. He walked while teasing Bakhai. Little Bakhai, shouldn't you be leveling up by now? Still looking so small and cute. It replied, how can one judge strength simply by size. Min Lang laughed loudly. His expression suddenly turned cold as he noticed something unusual. Min Lang stood at the fork surprised, asking, "Strange, why is there a small branch here?" He hid behind a bush to observe, suddenly parting the tree branches, focusing on the front. Min Lang said, "Indeed, there is a stone dam. It's like someone built it." He climbed up the dam, the soles of his shoes pounding down on the stone, making noise. Ming Lang raised his head and exclaimed in confusion, "What is this?" He paused to observe and said, "Using the water stored in this dam, it can completely irrigate the fields in Bangkok City and also sustain livestock. Just need to open this stone dam." Who exactly built this stone dam? The strong wall of Kok Vin stood firm with magnificent towers above. Min Lang rushed in, calling out loudly, "Duan Lam, teacher, Habak teacher." He was startled by a voice from behind. "Wait a moment." And Chidu spoke, "I heard Truk Huynh went to the canyon upstream. May I ask if Truk Huynh has seen the water dam?" Min Lang replied, "I have seen it." He asked, "Should I really report this to Master Doan Lam and Master Kabak?" He frowned and said, "Just say what you want directly." Trinju respectfully replied, "Truk Huynh don't misunderstand. Trinju is just a weak scholar. I will not have any ill intentions towards Truk Huynh. Currently, the two masters have gone to summon rain. I have a question I would like to consult Truk Huynh." Min Lang softened his tone. "Go ahead." He continued, "Truk Huynh knows over 50 miles away the soldiers are fighting the rebellious Vuto. Do you think the people of Bangkok City can hold out?" He spoke up. "Could it be the water dam in that valley?" Chidu continued, "That's right indeed. Truk Huynh is smart." Amid the swirling storm, the heavenly might covered the sky. The continuous rain poured down, obscuring the alleys. The lanterns flickered like smoke. There was a shout, "It's raining!" Everyone cheered, "It's raining, it's raining." Yes, Ming Lang looked at him closely and asked, "Do you think the frontline stronghold can't hold off the rebellious Wu Tho?" Chidu looked up at the sky, catching the rain, and replied, "Yes." Ming Lang continued to ask, "Why do you think the front line can't hold off the rebellion?" Trinju replied, "You also know before meeting you there should have been reports from the front line. Perhaps the reports arrived late." He frowned and spoke, "So the front line has..." He answered, "That's right. Truk Huynh, please inform the two masters to bring the students to leave quickly." In place of Trin, he expressed gratitude to the two masters and the Thuanlong students, thanking them for their compassion towards the people. The rain poured heavily the dark building, the lanterns flickering behind the curtain of water, the red doors thrashing in the wind, the swords glinting coldly. The city walls echoed with footsteps, and a loud shout was heard, "Kill!" The dragon feathers stood upright. Large birds flew through the rain. The sound of wings echoed through heaven and earth. Duan Lam spoke, "Kabak, we are also citizens of Tulong City. In your eyes, do you see these rebels invading our fortress? We are Muklong masters. Why should we fear these lowly people?" He sat quietly on the back of the spirit beast, arms crossed as if in thought. Kabak turned back and said, "The Tuanlong Academy only if the city is under heavy attack. Otherwise, we will not participate in any military affairs." "Don't you know this rule?" Duan Lam said. "But those wild beasts of Wutho are all evil people. They clearly have their territory, but keep attacking the territory of Tulong City. They are not worth pitying." She continued, "They are not wild animals. They are just trying to survive." The rain poured heavily. The rocks burst open. White foam sprayed loudly. A wall of water crashed down, sweeping away all footprints. Min Lang sat on the spirit beast, surprised, exclaimed, "The mountain red lotus water hit the bandit howling in the storm. Save me." Then everyone looked down and began to chatter. "There is still a large army of rebels behind. God, how many people from Wutho are involved in this rebellion? The city wall seems to have been intentionally dug. That sudden flood is creating a hit point. Those rebels must swim through the muddy lake to attack Bangkok City." The two young ladies also spoke, "As long as we build a lookout on the other side of the lake, shoot arrows at the enemy, jump into the lake. 1,000 people can resist 10,000 troops. This is the miraculous flood the heavens granted to Bangkok City. How this rain from Master Doan Lam has saved all the people in Bangkok City. Even if the tyrant wants to deal with the muddy lake, it will take 2 days. By then, reinforcements will have arrived." Min Lang recalled Trindu's words. With lips gone teeth cold, The Eastern Hook Stronghold has just been breached. Vinkok City will surely perish. The people can suffer and find other ways to survive the winter, but they cannot be without weapons against foreign invasion. He thought, Trin brother, the weapons you prepared are indeed formidable. Minlang said, 2 masters, the intelligence of the front line has been delayed. We must quickly fly to Tulong City and report this to the city lord. Otherwise, the entire population of Vinkok City will perish at the hands of the rebels. Bun Habak asked, What? How do you know? Duan Lam spoke, There is no time to explain now. Chuk Min Lang, you come with us. The great bird split the clouds and opened the way. The 3 of them quickly flew along the green dragon vein. The great bird carried the 3, and circled below rose the furious fire cloud. He opened his eyes wide, exclaiming in alarm, Be careful! Amid the swirling fire cloud, a figure in purple rushed down. Ma Wiem opened its mouth like a roar, threatening the opponent. Lu Kim descended from the sky. The spirit beast's posture struck, falling into the deep forest. The 3 fell to the ground, biting their teeth, saying, Does Vuto also have Moklong masters? Xie Duan Lam formed a seal, waved her hand. The Lin Van Tui Lam surged like waves. Thien Lun appeared roaring and shaking the entire forest. Lahir looked at Min Lang, saying, So, Truk little brother is also here. Looks like today is indeed a good day. He frowned at him, exclaiming, Lahir you, as the leader of the Eastern Hook Stronghold. Why aren't you quickly reporting on the military situation and come here to harm people? He angrily said, I was trying to use them as cattle and horses, but they brought the woman I loved the most and handed her over to someone else right before my eyes. Not only did I not report, but I also killed all the messengers of the battle reports. Of course, including all of you busybodies. Habak angrily shouted, This traitor, accept death. The great bird spread its wings closer. The fire of Madiem surged. With unblinking eyes, Tien Lan held the Tui Cho. Te Ling Quang exploded. Waves of water formed a barrier. The body of the bird was covered in fire. It charged straight from the middle, striking down like a sword. Lu Kim was struck hard by the Tui, opening its mouth to roar amidst the splashing foam. The great bird stared vigilant. The scales shone, its sharp beak roaring. Lu Kim lunged, clamping its neck. Blood gushed out. Thinlan rushed in, tightly wrapped around Ma Long. The coldness surged, pressing the raging fire. The fire burst around Lu Kim's sharp spikes, glowed like swords. It spread its wings, its whole body ablaze, attacking the spirit bird and Thinlan. Min Lang shouted in shock as he saw both Duan Lam and Habak spitting blood. Teacher Lahir, his whole body on fire, triumphantly said, 2 low-level dragons also dare to compete with me. Habak spoke, Your grievances with the Lei family we, at the Tuan Long Academy, do not care. But if you kill the teachers and students of the Tuan Long Academy, there will certainly be no good ending for you. He coldly said, If you all die, no one will know it was me who acted. When he's saying that, he rode on Lu Kim unleashing flames. Everyone was engulfed in flames. Min Lang was astonished to see Bach Khai seemingly wanting to break free from Lu Kim's chest, hovering in the air. The fire exploded, turning the ground into a sea of flames. Lahir gritted his teeth, his eyes tense as an unexpected change approached. Bach Khai spread its wings into a protective shield, keeping the 3 safe. He called out, Bach Khai. It raised its head, its eyes bright as if sensing the celestial phenomenon. The wings of holy light cut through heaven and earth, directly closing in on the giant Lu Kim. To the astonishment of the 3, Lahir raised his hand to form a seal. The fire rune flared from the ring. He said, Do you think I have no defenses? In an instant, Lahir transformed into the Hai Kim armor, his energy blazing like fire. He laughed triumphantly. With just this tiny breeze, how can you hurt me from the void? Hey. Bach Khai charged in to attack Lahir. The red and white light shot through the heavens and earth, shaking. It opened its eyes wide, the bright light gathering between its brows. The pure white figure charged in its tail like a spear, breaking through the enemy's heart formation. He gritted his teeth, reaching out to greet it, the light blade sweeping horizontally. Bach Khai soared above Lahir, was hit, falling straight down, blood splattering. Duan Lam thought, Has the frost Tran Bak Long reached the stage of development? Holding the blood-stained eyes, he growled softly, Demonic energy surged, killing intent soaring. Chuk Min Lang! Liu Kim raised its head, spitting sunfire towards Bak Kai. The fire of the sky roared, tearing apart the clouds. The heavenly scales turned, attacking towards it. Bak Kai twisted and swept the fire in a circle, the light wave engulfing the fire wave. The jade tiger pierced through the armor, the demonic figure like lightning a strike to determine the situation, spiraling like a serpent. The heavenly scales opened their eyes, the tail wrapped around the moon. The waves of the spirit shook the heavens. Bak Kai transformed into a serpent, tightening around Liu Kim, the demonic flames extinguished amidst the cold water flow. The ice seal of Lam, layers of jade bones, locked the dragon claw, sealing the battle intent. Habak summoned the spirit beast, saying, "Ne long good opportunity." Lahir's expression changed, a cold smile appeared, dark thoughts flashing in his mind. Min was startled, shouting loudly, "Habak teacher, be careful." He suddenly performed a secret technique, launching a sneak attack. The claws of the evil beast pierced through Habak's chest. He struggled to hold on, pressing down quickly. Habak collapsed, falling to the ground, shocking both teacher and student. Minglang and Lahir coldly said, "Today, none of you can escape. Everyone must die." A Bak Kai spread its wings, gathering ice essence, preparing to launch a counterattack. The giant purple dragon was hit by the ice arrow, roaring. Bak Kai soared into the air, carrying the two teachers and students away. Duang Lam sorrowfully called, "Habak," he said. Duang Lam, teacher, run quickly. She hurriedly summoned the spirit beast Tianlun, come back quickly. It obeyed, twisting and preparing to return. Lahir rode a Liu Kim, chasing after, shouting loudly, "Want to run!" Upon reaching a green lake, he said, "After running for so long, you won't catch up. We are very close to the Tuanlong Academy," Duan Lam said. "Know that Lahir is catching up. He is riding Liu Kim, closely following, charging towards the two." Jie, Tianlun dashed out. To Duan Lam's astonishment, she shouted, "Tianlun, what do you want to do? Hurry back here." Forcing a summoning failure, it dashed forward to attack Liu Kim. Duan Lam spat blood, slowly falling down. To Min Lang's astonishment, he caught her in his arms, loudly saying, "Duan Lam, teacher, hold on. We are almost back. Bak Kai, hang in there if you are too tired. Use the wind control technique to slide through." He gritted his teeth, thinking, "Today's revenge, I will definitely repay tenfold another day." On this side, Tianlun was fighting desperately with Liu Kim, unable to determine a winner. The Liu Kim bit hard on its tail. Lahir shouted, "Don't block the way, beast." He angrily said, "Damn it, don't pay attention to it. Hurry and chase." Liu Kim ignored Tianlun, falling into the lake, chasing after Minlang and the teacher and student. It was heavily injured, fell into the water, and began to sink. On the shore, Niem Niem said, "You stupid, you dumb crocodile. Do you have pig blood or something? Why did you stop chasing halfway?" Haknya angrily replied, "Clearly you are giving chaotic commands. Sometimes catching this, sometimes catching that." She continued, "I wasted days feeding you fat silkworms, all the good food provided to you. As a result, because of catching a few fish, you are so lazy and negative. You are indeed too fortunate." Tranyam Niem opened her eyes wide as if she had discovered something unusual. Tianlun is covered in blood, rising to the surface of the lake. She panicked and shouted in the midst of its struggle, "Haknya, hurry down to help." "Big head, what's wrong with you?" Nim Nim said, "Not good. Daihaknya, hurry up here. The water monster wants to eat the corpse of Dulong." Many monsters appeared. It growled, preparing to fight. The monster lunged, intending to attack Haknya. It bit into the back of the beast's blood, spilling all over the lake. Alone, Haknya bravely fought against the group of water monsters. It suddenly saw another one lunging toward Tianlun. Haknya rushed over, using its horn to stab a fatal blow to the beast to save its friend. It cried while asking, "Big head, are you okay?" Tianlun tried to open its eyes to look at it as if to reassure. Haknya shed tears. "Wake up. You can't die. And in this world only, I can defeat you." Niem Niem said, "I will go find someone. Dai Haknya, you hold on." At Trulongdian, Ang Zeung the Tailok asked what happened. Min Lang replied, "Teacher Duan Lam was attacked in the spirit realm. Her soul was injured and she is in a coma." He said, "It's not just a coma. If it were a moment later, she would have no life left. You have no business here. We will try to save her. You quickly report everything to the principal. but it would be better if you go to the Lei family royal mansion and recount the whole truth yourself. After all, this is not a small matter, he replied. All right. Hong Ha was panting, saying, Chuk Min Lang, a young lady said your Dangak Long is being surrounded and attacked by a group of monsters at the waterfall. Hurry up and check it out. He was surprised. What did you say? Min Lang quickly jumped down, calling out Bak Kai. He clung to it and soared into the sky, not forgetting to turn back to say thank you, Hong Ha. He exclaimed in amazement, Is this the frost god, Bak Long, so powerful? What kind of divine being is Chuk Min Lang? Haknya fought desperately to protect Thinan. Its body was injured, blood flowing everywhere. Min Lang rode on Bak Kai, calling loudly, Little Haknya. See, it roared loudly in response. It continued to counterattack against the approaching water monsters, blood staining the lake. He frowned, gritted his teeth, and shouted, Bachai, kill them! Spreading wings in the sky, the cold wind swirled, drawing spiritual energy into columns of ice and sparkling crystals falling. The water monsters were consecutively frozen. Min Lang quickly caught it, saying, Little Haknya, well done. You have protected Tram Xuan Long, right? It hasn't died yet. At Andung, he spoke, Take good care of your injuries. I will return shortly, Min Lang said to Bachai. Let's go. We are going to the Lei family royal mansion. Mingha was surprised. Just now the meat was still raw. How can it heal so quickly? Haknya smiled. People don't know. It surfaced with its back completely stripped of skin. The little girl exclaimed in shock, Are you a snake? Why did you shed like that? It turned back to look behind, horrified to see the skin floating on the water. Haknya cried, holding its head. It's not going to die, right? Why is the skin and body not together? Minha reassured, Don't panic. Why does the blood coming from you glow? It cried even louder. It's over. I'm definitely dead. There's no saving me. The little girl ran quickly to Thylok, breathless. Master, not good. Quickly look at Daihanya, guessing it's about to die. The disciple was a bit scared. He turned back and replied, You silly girl. What's so surprising? Have you never seen a dragon transformation? Minha's eyes widened as she spoke. Dragon transformation. Oh, my Dai Haknya has transformed into a dragon. It happily continued. Did I transform into a dragon? That Thylok spoke. All right, don't be excited. It's not your dragon. You go, inform Duanlam's family, saying she hasn't heard the whole story. Crying, she said, Why inform the family? Master, you think of another way. I don't want to see Duanlam die. He said, What death? Her soul is severely injured. I'm informing. So her family can find some spiritual medicine to help her wake up soon. Mingha spoke, Then you won't die. Just find spiritual medicine to heal her soul. How long until Duanlam will wake up? Des Thylok pondered and replied, At least half a year the injury is too severe. Fortunately with this Ngak Long, if not for Tramjian Long, she would definitely die. If Duanlam's injury worsens, even immortals can't save her. Min Lang observed around, speaking, Finally, we are almost there. And suddenly soldiers fell into the fray. Dung commanded, Anyone who quickly descends to be checked. He stood still for them to check, thinking, They look like a wedding procession. Unexpectedly, there are soldiers guarding. These people seem not simple. The soldier asked, Who are you? Why are you here? Min Lang looked at the soldier, thinking, This is not the soldier of Tulong City. He presented the jade pendant, saying, I am a student of the Tuanlong Academy, preparing to go to Tulong City to buy some food for the dragons. Min Lang continued, I didn't expect to disturb your rest, gentlemen. I will leave immediately. The old man tossed the jade pendant back and shouted, Get lost. Yes. Thank you, sir. The young soldier asked, Big brother, we've seen many people like this before. Shouldn't we check him? We must check this person. Then the old man replied, What do you know? Previously they were all ordinary people. This one looks like a Tuanlong master. Who knows if he is a soldier of Tulong City or not? He continued asking, What if he is a spy of the Lei family carrying battle reports? Then our plan is ruined. This, the other person agreed. That's right, just wait. Delaying for another 5 days will allow us to enter Tulong City. So then Min Lang thought, indeed, these people have issues. 2 days later at the Lei family royal mansion, there was a bustling voice, Welcome Mr. Dung to Tulong City to escort the bride. Leian continued, From now on, Tulong City and Langtiu City can be considered as a good partnership. Then Dung Tu spoke, What the Lei family, Lord, said is wrong. Coming here today, the main thing is still this peace negotiation. It's just that the peace negotiation letter has problems. Leanne frowned, looking displeased, wondering, does Lord Dung feel there is a problem? Dungtu threw the box in his hand to the ground and said, Lord Leewei from Langtiu City have brought many gifts that can be considered sincere already. Why is there no regulation on ceding 4 cities in the west in this peace negotiation? Where is the female general? Hearing this, Hongdong beside shook reproaching. What do you mean by ceding 4 cities in the west? We had clearly discussed the terms before. It was only Levantu marrying into the Lei family as a concubine. Jungtu then sat down on the chair, smiling slyly, replied, the previous conditions were not stated now. It is added. It's not too late. We can wait. Bin Hai couldn't hold it anymore, asking a small envoy like you if you think of our Lei family royal mansion as your backyard. Seeing this, the adjusting Thuk in front raised his hand to intervene. May I ask why you suddenly want to obtain our 4 cities in the west? Such an impolite peace request, do you not fear we will declare war? Jungtu lifted a jujube to his mouth and licked it mockingly. General Trin, I have heard that your Eastern Hook stronghold has been breached by the fierce army of Thung Lung. I fear the city has been completely plundered. He feigned contempt, decisively spat the jujube out of his mouth, complaining, this jujube is terrible. Bin Hai immediately became furious, stepping forward to put a knife to Dungtu's neck. What? The Eastern Hook stronghold fell. How could the poorly constructed weapons of the tyrant defeat my Lei family's regular army? I see that Langtiu City has no intention of making peace, and sending you here is truly infuriating. Suddenly, from behind, Vantu's voice came forward. Le Bin Hai stepped back, hearing her voice. Both the soldiers and Dungtu suddenly paused. She stepped forward majestically, commanding, spare his life, he is still useful to me. Dungtu immediately stood up respectfully, saying, Your Highness, if you prefer to wear this attire to marry into Langtiu City, the city lord will definitely be even more interested. However, the condition of ceding 4 cities, we will not concede. She remained expressionless, holding the bag in her hand out in front of Dung Suya. I have a gift. Why don't you accept it on behalf of your esteemed city lord first? Seeing this, Dungtu covered his mouth with his hand, laughing meaningfully. Your Highness has a gift, or should keep it for the wedding night with the city lord. We lowly people dare not receive such a grand gift, Vantu said, little directly throwing the bloodied bag she held down to the ground. Ming Lang smirked, implying, open it and see, is there a familiar face inside? Upon opening the bag, Dungtu's gaze shifted from smug to extreme panic. This. He looked at the 3 heads on the ground, his face turned pale, letting out a horrified scream. At this moment, he solemnly continued, Dung Suya, you took advantage of the peace negotiation to distract us secretly, sending people along the riverbank to sneak into our territory. Planning to breach the Tui defense, we must occupy the 4 cities in the west, right? Zungtu trembled all over, speechless. You. Minlang grinned and announced, Unfortunately, from the beginning, the female general has sent subordinates to ambush at the canyons you must pass, killing all your ambushing troops. The people behind witnessing this immediately discussed, these beasts of Langtiu City, here on one side, Ni Hua on the other side, plotting to seize 4 cities, they are truly treacherous. No wonder Dungtu dared to boast like that. Fortunately, Vantu saw through their scheme. If Vantu had not seen through their plots, the 4 cities in the west would have changed owners by now. Dungtu was driven to a dead end, pointing at her and shouting, You will not die a clean death. Le Vantu, your widowed lady will surely go to hell. She calmly stepped closer to him, drew her sword, stopped pretending. I will spare your life. Dungtu's attitude immediately changed. Thank you for sparing my life, my lady. Vantu sat down, asking in a low voice, You can't find what you care about in these heads, can you? She grabbed Dungtu's face, frowning as she ordered, Young master of the Lang, your family is still alive. This is what I want you to take back to Langlaktian. Now you must leave a letter to redeem your young master's life, then eat everything on the ground. Dungtu's eyes were filled with fear, and he could only nod. Yes. The crowd there immediately turned to sweetly flatter Vantu. You have done a great service for us, truly deserving of the title of lady. It's a blessing for the Tulong city. We need to restore the lady's reputation, right? Vantu has been feeling quite wronged lately. so she decisively walked over and snatched the paper from Kongdong's hand. She picked up a brush and wrote something inside. To the astonishment of the woman, Vanu boldly crossed out her name on the paper. She threw the brush towards Motin and Lohai, shouting, "Let those ladies handle the personal glory. If I do not win this campaign, they will be quality offerings to comfort the enemy." Over here, Leanne approached and asked Dungtu, "I ask you, is it true that the Eastern Hook stronghold has fallen? Why were we not aware of this?" Minlang immediately replied, "In our army, there has been a traitor, Lahir, who has killed all the messengers of the battle report. If it weren't for the vigilance of the city lord Trindu of Vinkok City and Chutuan using barriers relying on the hardships of planting floods, the angry populace might have already reached under Tulong City." Ye Lean feigned understanding and asked further, "I see you are Truk Minlang, right? I remember you as the impersonator of the dignitaries in my wife's clan, the man who returned from Vuto with Vanu." She's standing next to me and explained, "I instructed him to impersonate because Lahir was next to me at that time. I have long been on guard against his scheming." Leanne turned to nod in acknowledgement. "All right, Vanu, you did well. Let those guards be managed by you." She seized the opportunity to propose. "If that's the case, why not have my father hand over the command token of the Fidyodoan to me? I will make this riot settle down." Leanne was indignant, trying to persuade Vanu. "Although you have made great contributions this time, military authority is not to be..." He finished saying she has interfered. "Father, actually, 5 days ago, I had already sent the Fidyodoan to Vinkok City for assistance." With no other choice, Leanne had to take out the command token and agree. "Fine then." He commanded that from today, Levantu would restore her title as the lady. Jungtu knelt on the ground, trembling, as he presented the petition to the lady. "Please review this, see if there is anything that needs to be added before releasing our young master." Vanu coldly took the brush, glanced over and nodded. "All right." She stepped forward, whispered to Minlang, "Thank you." He smiled in satisfaction, responding, "Don't mention it." Turning his back, walking with Vanu, Minlang curiously asked, "Where are we going?" She replied sternly, "To the east of Vinkok City." Minlang questioned loudly, "Just the two of us?" Vanu nodded in confirmation. "That's enough." Soon the two of them arrived inside Tulong City. The people below curiously looked up. "Dad, look over there. Someone is flying in the sky." "That is the divine mortal." The son of Huathuk questioned, "What is a divine mortal?" He smiled and explained, "A divine mortal is someone with extraordinary limits. They can use powerful, ancient beings and possess supernatural abilities." The boy's eyes sparkled with interest. "Then I want to become a divine mortal too." Huathuk gently patted his son's head, replying, "Divine mortals are mostly inherited from the ancient gods. Moreover, one must have a very special constitution." After hearing this, the boy became dejected, sniffling and asking, "Then I have no hope." Huathuk laughed heartily, encouraging his son, "Don't lose heart. Little Huang is very perceptive. If you work hard, you might transform into a dragon. As long as you diligently cultivate and open your spirit domain, you can become a true dragon master." The boy perked up, asking, "So is a dragon master stronger or a divine mortal stronger?" Yish Huathuk explained, "The abilities of each divine mortal are different. Some are strong, some are weak, but generally they cannot withstand a truly powerful dragon master. Using a group of dragons to encircle and attack. Moreover, divine mortals without a spirit domain cannot raise dragons." The boy excitedly hugged the little dog in his arms, determined, "Then I want to become a dragon master. Little Huang, let's work hard together." Over here, Vanu and Minlang were still flying towards Vinkok City. Seeing the satisfied expression on Minlang's face, she asked in confusion, "What are you doing?" He was startled and explained, "I am feeling the sensation of freely soaring." Vanu shyly scolded, "I am asking about your hand." Minlang immediately released his hand from her waist, stammering, "This isn't it because I was afraid of falling." Just then, Vanu kicked him straight in the legs, regardless of Minlang still explaining, "I am not..." He fell freely downwards, continuously screaming. At that moment, Bach Kai poked its head out of Minlang's pocket, quickly transforming into a large form to catch him. Minlang scratched his head, relieved. "Luckily, Bach Kai can change size at will to catch me, otherwise I would have fallen to my death." He hurriedly yelled towards Vanu, Hey, wait for me. You are not truly angry, are you? At this moment in Vincock City, chaos surrounded them with horrid screams. Kill, 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 dust and explosions covered the entire capital. Vantu quickly arrived, witnessing the scene from above. General Lu greeted her while riding a dragon. Greetings, my lady. And she asked, how is the battle? General Lu respectfully reported, it is indeed a miracle. When we arrived, this tiny Vincock city had already managed to hold off the angry populace for 5 days by itself. This is the protection of the heavens for Tulong City. Indeed, those vile people, even the divine beings, have abandoned them, unable to enter the plains. Now, after hearing that, Vantu took out a silk pouch from her person and commanded, General Lu Yu, lead half of the Phi Diu Duang to Lam City quickly. Act based on this silk pouch. She instructed, I order you by dawn. Tomorrow, you must return here. If not, then bring your heads here. General Lu was astonished. Does she truly have military authority in her hands? He respectfully took the silk pouch, as you command. Min Lang behind was confused. You are dispatching the Phi Diu Duan. What about the remaining angry populace? Vantu shot him a cold glance and asked, Are you afraid? Min Lang was startled, shouted, Who said I am afraid? After finishing his words, the two of them flew into Vincock City on their swords. Below, countless soldiers looked up at Vantu's figure. Her entire being radiated a fierce authority. The sword in her hand also became stronger. Vantu decisively charged forward, striking the ground with a powerful blow. She drew a line in the ground, declaring, using the sword as a boundary, choose for yourselves between life and death. Vantu's towering figure warned, anyone who crosses the sword boundary shall be treated as a tyrant and shall be killed without trial. Outside the sword boundary are the people, my subjects of Levantur. I will ensure you safely survive this winter. The rebellious forces below remained stubborn, loudly shouting, She is stalling. Do not trust this woman. They all raised their weapons, rushing forward. No matter how strong she is, she's just a woman. If we unite, we can surely break into the plains. By then we can have whatever we want. We are not afraid, not afraid, not afraid. Although they had witnessed Vantu's strength, the rebellious forces still boasted, encouraging one another. Charged, Vantu remained completely calm, retreating into a combat stance. Suddenly, Min Lang flew in from behind, proposing, Leave the rest to me. He rode on Bach Kai, fiercely declaring, Anyone who crosses her sword boundary shall die. Bach Kai charged forward, unleashing a tremendous force. Instantly, it created a massive explosion, tearing apart the formation of the rebellious forces. However, they still kept their resolve, rushing forward. We will never be slaves. But the leader had just finished speaking when he suddenly froze in place. Min Lang in front warned sternly, Stay away from the sword boundary. There may still be a chance for you to survive. The rebellious forces below were unafraid, calling out, The 2 leaders are dead. Avenge the 2 leaders. Charge, we have no way back. Charge, defeat them and establish our own kingdom. Min Lang was furious, gritting his teeth and thinking, Damn it, do these people not fear death? After saying that, he rode Bach Kai straight forward, continuing to attack. Each flap of Bach Kai's wings created waves, immediately freezing the rebellious forces. Quickly, the rebellious forces were blocked behind the sword boundary. Min Lang, riding Bach Kai, stood majestically before them. The expressions of the rebellious forces gradually shifted to fear. From behind, Vantu held her sword, admonishing, I was once the ruler of you. When I ruled over you, was there not food to eat? Trung Tak, standing below, bowed his head and replied, There was... She asked again, Did you have clothes to wear? Trung Tak once again had to confirm, Yes. Vantu solemnly ordered, Put down your weapons. I will ensure you safely survive this winter. But if you wish to cause a riot, you shall not survive through tonight. Trung Tak feigned indignation, standing up and pleading, Please trust the lady's intentions. But how can I speak to my brothers who risk their lives here? If you truly care for the people of Utho, please give us a way to live. Hearing this, Vantu cut her hand with the sword, causing blood to flow. She bluntly announced, This is the way to live I offer you. Min Lang hurriedly grabbed her hand, preventing her. What are you doing? Why are you being so foolish? Vantu ignored him, continuing to declare, I have prepared food and clothing, and they are on their way here, enough for you to survive the winter. Before the blood dries, if you still do not make a decision, Levantu will mourn for you. Duel, as soon as she finished speaking, the rebellious forces below dropped all their weapons onto the ground. At the same time, she also exhaustedly fell backward, causing Min Lang to rush over, calling Yevantu. He caught her in his arms, wondering, so the condition you told Dung Tu to add in the peace letter was not to cede the city but to provide food and daily supplies. Vantu weakly nodded in confirmation. Yes, Min Lang reproached softly. You are too foolish. She chuckled softly, it's worth it. Min Lang further asked, so you sent the Fidiodoan to transport the food and clothing, right? Vantu nodded, leaning against his shoulder. I hope it can arrive in time. Just a few hours later, the sky began to brighten. The rebellious forces in Vinkok City cheered joyfully. Food and warm clothing have really arrived. Long live the lady. General Lu quickly flew over to report. Greetings, my lady. We have completed the assigned task. Vantu was still tired, ordering everyone into Vinkok City to distribute the food and clothing. The rebellious forces below knelt down, chanting, Thank you, lady. Long live the lady. A moment later, at the Lord's mansion of Vinkok City, she was taken back to the mansion to rest. Min Lang kindly brought a bowl of porridge close. I just made red date porridge for you now. Open your mouth. Vantu shyly brushed him off. I can eat by myself. He refused, reminding, Don't move. You lie still, and the blood will circulate. Vantu had no choice but to obey him. Just as she managed to eat a spoonful of porridge, she suddenly sat up, spitting it out. Do you want me to burn to death? Min Lang awkwardly laughed, explaining, Sorry, I didn't mean to. Vantu looked at Bachkai lying at the foot of the bed, wondering, Is that a dragon? Did you tame it at the Dragon Taming Academy? Min Lang shook his head. No, you know it. She looked at him with a puzzled expression. Huh. Min Lang reiterated, Did you forget? When we met, it was that bit through the tether, allowing us to escape. Vantu shyly clenched her fist, threatening, If you keep talking nonsense, I'll cut your tongue. And he thought deeply angrily, but it's also quite cute. Suddenly Min Lang remembered, Oh, right at the academy, I met your younger sister. Hearing this, she curiously leaned closer and asked, Who is it? He regained his serious demeanor, replying, You have many younger sisters, right? Vantu asked, curiously. How did you meet? Min Lang propped his chin, recalling, The first time was at the bridgehead. I thought it was you, so I talked to her. She didn't say anything. Then in a letter they impersonated you and recounted what happened between us. She immediately speculated, since they had met, they surely wouldn't interfere, right? Yay. He asked cautiously, Are you suspecting your sister and Nam's family were the ones who harmed you? Vantu was silent, slightly bowing her head as she replied, I have many enemies. Min Lang immediately clasped her shoulders, promising, Don't worry, I will help you. Yes, this Vantu nodded softly in agreement. Okay. In summary, I will not appear at the academy. You must be careful. You have seen it at the bridgehead. He also agreed. Just at that time, someone opened the door from outside, calling Lady. Trindu had just intended to report that the issue with the Vutho wild populace had been resolved, but seeing the two sitting before him, he suddenly froze, blushing. Trindu slammed the door shut, stammering, I'm so sorry I went into the wrong room. Sin Ming Lang glanced at him, instructing, Trindu is a talented person. You can rely on him. Vantu moved her hand slightly, nodding in acknowledgement. I know. There's nothing more to discuss here. I still have many enemies lurking in the shadows. They might use you to create stories, so you should go back to the academy first. Be very careful. Min Lang took her hand, advising, All right, you must pay attention too. Don't do such self-harming things anymore. His face was earnest, full of affection. If you faint here, there won't be a decent person like me to take care of you. Just then, Vantu kicked Min Lang out. Get lost. Trindu stood outside, startled, asking, Trukwin, are you okay? He lay on the ground, brushing it off. I'm fine. You go in and discuss important matters with her. Then Min Lang left Vantu's place and headed to the Chulong Hall. And during pavilion, he looked at the dragon making a fuss before him, lamenting, Whose black dragon is this that is so poorly managed? It is mighty, but how can it be so rudely gluttonous? Hagnya at the front heard the commotion, suddenly stopped, turning to look at Min Lang. He immediately recognized it, joyfully calling out, Big Hagnya. Min Lang walked over, delightedly patting Hagnya's head. Big Hagnya, is it really you? Have you transformed into a dragon? That's great. We can form a spirit pact now. After saying that, he raised his hand to his mouth, biting down hard, causing blood to flow. A drop of Min Lang's blood fell onto Hagnya's horn, causing it to emit a gentle glow. At this moment, the spirit pact was successfully established. Hagnya quickly burrowed into Minlang's magic space. He touched his chest, wondering, is this spirit power? I feel like my senses and observational abilities have greatly increased. Thinking of this, Minlang closed his eyes, slowly feeling within his body. Inside, he curiously looked at a portal of light. What's inside this portal of light? Minlang reached out, getting closer to the portal. A blue orb slowly floated out into his hand. Minlang looked at it, guessing. This is the Thai Honyung Cho. And soon after, the Thai Honyung Cho merged into him. Minlang smiled, broadly, secretly delighted. I didn't expect the Dragon Master to have such a special ability. I must take a look at this Tai Honyung Cho in a few days. According to the introduction of the Light Sphere Dragon Beast, it can evolve after consuming the collected soul orbs. This is truly a remarkable ability. Suddenly, a voice from behind called out, "Chuk Minlang, you finally returned." The girl took out a long scroll, presenting it before him, causing him to freeze for a moment. After Minlang and Haknya went hunting in an uninhabited forest, he sighed. The souls of wild beasts are indeed too bland. Before Minlang Bachai had also returned from its excursion, it dropped on the ground a huge blood gem filled with gold and jewels, making Minlang exclaim, "Where did you get so many treasures?" He suspiciously inquired, "Did you not use the method of hiding to rob the dragon lair?" Unexpectedly leading Big Haknya to find food also led to finding a dragon lair. "Hurry, take me to see Ash," Bach Kai called out a few times, seemingly confirming it. After saying that, they vanished from the rock ledge. In an instant, in another corner, a tiny dragon was peeking out from the bushes. Minglang observed from a distance, wondering, a hatchling dragon. Behind the hatchling dragon, a fierce beast suddenly emerged, swiping the small dragon off the cliff. The poor hatchling dragon cried out continuously, desperately calling for help. Seeing this, Minlang rushed to help Bach Kai quickly fly down to save that hatchling dragon. Bach Kai obeyed, flying down with him straight to the hatchling. Minlang reached out, trying to catch it, cradling the hatchling dragon in his arms, advising, "Your brothers and sisters won't let you off. You might as well follow me. Whether you can survive or not depends on you." Suddenly from behind came a savage growl. Minlang turned around in shock. "Oh no, look at that posture. It must be the mother of this little one. She surely won't think I stole her child, right?" The fierce beast lunged forward, wanting to devour Minlang alive. He looked back in panic, observing its every move. A moment later, Minlang urged, "Bach Kai Mom, run." Luckily, they all managed to escape from the pursuit of the fierce beast and returned to Chulong Hall. He wondered, can it still be alive? Tylok examined and concluded, "As long as it still breathes, I can make it live." Minglang sweetly praised, "The first day at the academy, I could tell you were a living celestial being." Tylok nodded at this, stroking his beard with satisfaction. Minha, standing beside, immediately scoffed, "Flatterer." The girl crossed her arms, looking proud. "But your perspective is really off. How can you form a spirit pact with a newborn giant dragon, which is also a dying dragon with no future development potential?" However, Tylok suddenly denied, No. This little creature is much stronger than an ordinary giant dragon. After it wakes up, feeding it a bit of lim water will help regenerate its blood." Hearing this, Minlang couldn't help but cover his mouth and laugh, causing Minahat to blush and shout, "You're still laughing. The last time is not counted. Let's count this time too." He found an excuse to escape. "Suddenly I remembered something urgent. Let's talk later." After that, he left Tylok and Minha heading to the forge. In the forge, the blazing fire blazed fiercely. Minglang delightedly took out a set of armor from inside, exclaiming, "The dragon armor is complete." Suddenly from behind, Hatan approached with a piece of paper. "Little Tru, come here and take a look." "Is this you?" He frowned at the paper, questioning, "Who drew this? Is it really that ugly?" Minha was surprised, asking back, "Really, is it you? Today I heard rumors that this person is the one wandering with the martial goddess. At that time, many people said they wanted you dead to atone for their sins." He advised, "You should find the old doctor to fix your looks." Minglang calmly brushed it off. "It's fine, just some rumors. During this time, I'll rely on you to take care of things, and I won't bother you anymore." After saying that, he waved his hand, turning to leave. "I take my leave." Yet Hatan could only sigh from behind. Rumors these days make it hard for young people to have peace. Minglang quickly returned to the academy's study. He was sitting at the desk when suddenly a voice from outside called, "You are Truk Minlang." He turned around annoyed. What is it? I do not accept little brothers. Behind Min Lang, a group of people swaggered and confidently approached young master of the Doan family, Doan Dieu To, and pointing directly at him, they arrogantly said, "Who is your little brother? Tell me, is that wandering rogue from Vutho mentioned outside you?" Min Lang calmly explained, "That wandering rogue is absolutely a rumor. Actually, I and the lady from Vutho just met and hit it off. They are just jealous of me, so they made up stories, belittling me, humiliating me." Hearing this, Dioto and the others were rendered speechless, unable to say a word. He became furious, scolding, "Do you know what shame is? You even deliberately provoked the lady to look down on you. Fellow student, are you doubting the lady's judgment?" Dioto was frightened, covering his mouth with his hand, waving, "I do not mean to doubt the lady." "Don't say nonsense." Min Lang frowned in reproach. "You have doubted the lady, and the rogue has some improper relationship with her. Yet, you still say you do not slander her?" Dieu too immediately stammered, unable to form a response. In his mind he cursed, "Damn it, clearly this guy is shameless. How can it turn into me slandering the lady?" Min Lang didn't wait any longer, brushing past Dieu to dismissing, "Forget it. I, a great man, do not hold grudges against the petty. Let's consider." "I didn't hear what you just said." He acted high and mighty, lecturing. "Love is a complicated matter. Actually, I also do not know why I love the lady. Perhaps loving someone without reason is just that way." After saying that, Min Lang solemnly expressed gratitude. "I know that you all admire my Vantu, and here I thank everyone on her behalf." And he reminded, "But if you truly respect her, then do not believe the rumors outside. Moreover, you should reprimand those who slander her." Dieu Tu and the others were immediately indignant. "Why wouldn't we stop it? But as long as a scab like you remains, the lady can never escape those rumors. If I were you, knowing my lowly status, I would have left this world long ago." The crowd around enthusiastically echoed, "Indeed, people like you do not deserve to live in this world. You insult the culture, you are lowly and despicable." Min Lang pointed at himself, declaring, "I know you all admire my wife, but please do not hold on to any unrealistic delusions in the future. From now on, her honor will be protected by me." Dieu To and the others still did not believe, deliberately pressing forward. "What are you pretending for? Based on you, how can you protect the lady? If you have the ability. Let's see, who is stronger?" Exactly. "If you have the ability, show it. Don't just rely on your mouth to boast." Min Lang was still wanting to argue. "You all are many, so all of you hold a challenge letter." Dieu Tu could not wait and interrupted. "Dealing with you alone is enough for me. Are we shameless like you?" Hearing that, Min Lang smiled broadly, implying, "I do not mean that." He clenched his fist, regaining seriousness and saying, "What I mean is you are many, and each one would take a lot of time. It would be better to write a joint challenge letter. Everyone who wants to duel signs it. Then we can all fight together." Jaduto and his gang abruptly froze speechless. He stuttered, pointing at Min Lang. You are too arrogant." Min Lang calmly shook his head. "No, I am just giving you all an opportunity to challenge." One of Dioto's underlings shouted from behind, "You little brat, arrogant without shame. Then let's meet on the battlefield at Halu to see who can defeat the dragon." He also angrily nodded, challenging, "Right, Chuk Min Lang, you chose this yourself. Don't blame us for taking advantage of numbers." At the training ground of the Dragon Taming Academy, the announcer's voice rang out, "Hot news, hot news." He loudly announced, "Chuk Min Lang has accepted the challenge. A grand battle of 1 against 20, shaking the heavens. Here, everyone hurry to come see." The announcer's voice continued to echo down the street. Coincidentally, Vusa, hiding nearby, heard everything. At the same time, at the Halu battlefield, many people had gathered on both banks of Vusa. In a beautiful outfit, she gently walked over, causing everyone around to exclaim, the lady. Min Lang was startled, turning to ask, "Why are you here?" Vusa replied indifferently, "You said it yourself. The two of us have such feelings for each other, isn't it normal for me to appear here to see how you fare?" Min Lang whispered to her, "But you are Nam Vusa, right? I have nothing to do with you." Vusa smiled knowingly, asking back, "Do you think they think the same?" The people on the opposite bank began to murmur, "No way! Why is the lady here? Is it really her?" 100%. "I have seen the lady at the Khandian. She looked exactly like this, no mistake. She definitely didn't come to see Truk Min Lang. She must have just passed by casually." Minlang, at a loss, had to hold his face in confusion. Big sister, what do you really want? This is a big misunderstanding. Dieu couldn't hold back anymore, standing from the opposite side, pointing and shouting, damn it. Truk Minlang really has something going on with the lady. Is this a scam? Based on what makes Truk Minlang worthy of the lady? Exactly, his dragon is very strong, is it not a rumor? Just a beggar. Why do I feel he looks too much like a parasite? But even Dieu, to witness this unsightly scene, he became furious, shouting like a beast, Truk Minlang, come. Let me teach you a lesson, arrogant one. Moments later, the teacher of the Dragon Academy, Bach Giat Thu, arrived to officiate. All right, next, I will preside over this match. Now you may summon your dragons. Since it is 1 against 20, each of you may only summon one dragon to fight. Please choose carefully. As soon as he finished speaking, Gyuto's group spiritedly summoned numerous mighty dragons. Jatu stood with arms crossed from above, carefully observing this battle. It seems the little brats are all furious, he thought to himself. Truk Minlang, no matter how strong you are still incredibly brave. Thinking that Jatu then announced to him, you can summon all your dragons, or you can reserve the right to summon in later rounds. Minlang respectfully clasped his hands. Thank you, teacher, for the reminder. After saying that, he raised his hand loudly, summon and attack Dai Haknya. As soon as Minlang activated the armor transformation, Chilong Haknya appeared from inside the space, making even him exclaim, the armor I crafted fits perfectly with Dai Haknya. Suddenly, the majestic expression of Haknya froze. What is happening? It turned to Minlang and shouted a few times, implying, let's run. You tried to encourage, run away. Today's training topic for you is fighting. Haknya immediately burst into tears. The master is abusing me. Minlang calmly turned to educate it. Raise your spirit. Haknya, pay attention to your spirit. You're not fighting alone. You still have Bakhai, right? One master and one servant they carefully discussed. You go provoke them first. Otherwise, they will scatter. Bakhai's magic can't handle them all. Haknya obediently expressed understanding. So I am just bait, huh? I'm used to this. After finishing the plan, Haknya roared at the opponent, you trash, look here. It quickly turned its back, leaving the other dragons puzzled. A second later, Haknya directly released a huge pile of dung. The dragons were instantly enraged and rushed forward. Haknya refused to back down, turned around, seized one by the head, and threw the dragon several meters away. Dieu too got angry, ordered Hong Chao Tatlong kill that vile dragon for me. Hong Chao Tatlong followed his command, swiftly leaping up, letting out a deafening roar and extending its sharp claws forward. Seeing this, Haknya suddenly became frightened, trembling, and yelled, Mom! Haknya quickly dodged the fatal blow from Hong Chao Tatlong. It rushed toward another wolf demon, threatening, do you think you can bite me, little wolf? The horn on Haknya's head grew longer, and its entire body became majestic. It decisively thrust forward, unleashing the dragon horn strike, defeating the fox spirit, and Haknya made a mocking face, provoking the crowd in front of it. A few of them held their heads and cried, My Bao Lang Long. That Hak Long is as treacherous and disgusting as Truk Min Lang. Then Ruoto angrily shouted, Order everyone to attack. Take it down. Haknya, seeing this, was startled and cried out, Mom! Behind he frowned, focusing on summoning Bakhai, freezing the group behind. From the void, Bakhai appeared majestically, with strong wing beats, quickly soaring high and unleashing chilling bursts. In an instant, the entire group of beast spirits was turned into huge blocks of ice, and no one could escape Bakhai's freezing strike. The petrified beast spirits fell directly before the people of Dieu. One of Dioto's subordinates, angry, ordered Truk Long melt the surface. Truk Long shot up from beneath the ground, carrying with it a fiery rage. It bared its sharp claws, aimed at Bakhai. The beast spirits inside the ice gradually broke free. Bakhai stood there, watching them with a wary, fearful gaze. Minglang from behind anxiously called out, Bakhai, be careful. A moment later, Truk Long unleashed a massive energy beam, attacking Bakhai. Another earth dragon had also escaped targeting it. Just as Bakhai took off, that earth dragon used the Iron Claw Dragon Quake. The Hong Chao Tatlong next to it also tried to break free, aiming for Bakhai. It quickly shot out eyes, forming a shield in front of itself. Seizing the opportunity, Bachkai aimed to deliver a finishing blow with its tail. Unexpectedly, its tail was inexplicably blocked. Ruto, standing below, anxiously shouted loudly, "No!" Bachkai's sharp tail suddenly trembled, unable to touch Hong Chao Tat Long. Its entire body was suddenly bound tightly by a series of thorny vines. A moment later, Bachkai was directly pulled down to the ground by Luke Lam Long. The Diotu gratefully said, "The one next to you, hurry up and attack." "My Luke Lam Long can't hold it for long." Hong Chao Tat Long took the opportunity to roar, then pounced. Suddenly at that moment, Haknya and its sharp horn charged forward like the wind. The Hong Chao Tat Long was knocked a few meters away. The Luke Lam Long was also shaken, making it dizzy and fall to the ground. Min Lang, riding on Haknya, asked, "But Kai, are you okay?" Yi Bach Kai slowly broke free from the bindings, cried out, "I'm fine." Just as he finished, there was suddenly the sound of footsteps coming from behind. Min Lang was startled, turned his head to look. Behind the Truk Long from earlier has come. It opened its sharp teeth, wanting to attack him. Min Lang immediately raised his hand to summon a condensed force, executing the Khai Ang skill. The Truk Long remained aggressive, opening its mouth wide to charge forward, and he punched straight ahead, attacking it head-on. Jatu above couldn't help but exclaim, "Is this the Long Kai skill?" He carefully analyzed. "I heard that each dragon, after signing a soul contract with a Muklong master, as long as it is given a set of specialized Long Kai, the Muklong master can assimilate the properties of Long Kai. I never expected to witness this from another student's dragon." Haknya surged, throwing the Truk Long down. It howled in pain, struggling against Haknya's attack. But in the blink of an eye, Haknya had torn the Truk Long in two. The owner of the Truk Long immediately spat blood in anger. The comrade beside him hurried to support his brother. Just one more step, and it would have become a high-level Truk Long. Who would have thought it would be torn apart like this? Just how strong is that dragon? Long Kai, does Truk Min Lang really have such a precious Long Kai? This is not something a beggar can buy. It must have been given to him by a female master. A guy like that, leeching off others, has no future. In the sky, Bach Kai spread its pure white wings. It flew into the air, creating many chilling gusts. Bach Kai howled to the skies. The horn on its head emitted a blinding light. The sky immediately darkened, countless lightning bolts, and a barrage of meteors fell. The people of Ryuto exclaimed in shock, "Oh my god, Bach Chulu Tin. Is this the Tunglong Huyen Tuat? It's terrifying. This white dragon must be a Longtung level." The falling meteors struck the ground, creating a series of loud shocks, causing the bad guys and their beast spirits to panic and flee in all directions. Min Lang shouted, "Bach Kai, I'm fine. Spare their lives." Seeing this, Bach Kai stopped attacking, sparing their lives. Diotu helplessly could only grimace at Min Lang slaughtering his subordinates. He stood proudly on Haknya, challenging, "Is there anyone else?" Ryoto and his group helplessly knelt on the ground, trembling, unable to speak. From below, Jiatu broke free from the rubble, saying, "To compete in the academy at such a young age is truly impressive. Truk Min Lang can discern right from wrong like this, being merciful. I am very pleased." He worriedly rushed to Bach Jiatu. "Master, it was the student who was disrespectful." Jiatu cheerfully waved it off. "I'm fine." He raised his hand sternly. "I declare this challenge. Truk Min Lang wins." Jiatu cast a cold glance at Ruto, admonishing, "Young people are passionate and easily agitated. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't listen to rumors that harm others' reputations. As a Maklong master, one must have decisiveness. Others provoke and you become muddled. If it weren't for Truk Min Lang's mercy, you probably wouldn't be alive." Ruto quietly said to the master, "Indeed, thank you, Truk Min Lang, for showing mercy." He stepped forward to warn, "You all don't need to worry about my lady's reputation anymore." The Ru group nodded in agreement. Yes. Actually, I have admired the female master for a long time, and I have no ulterior motives. Absolutely not. Truk brother is a contemporary powerhouse, very worthy of the female master. Min Lang helplessly thought these kids really know how to flatter. From a distance, the bad guys were just arriving to witness everything. A fat guy beside them rested his chin on his hand. "We were planning to team up to challenge him next month. I wonder if we have a Longtuong level expert in our group." The bad guys took out a challenge letter from their hands. I quickly tore the challenge letter apart. What's there to challenge? Didn't we decide to go hunting next month? Over there, countless fans were following him. Truk Suhuin is so amazing. I wonder if we could train together in the future. Jasa, my handsome guy, is 173 centimeters tall, weighing 93 kg measurements. Or should you consider whether Truk Min Lang would like to have another wife? He could only run away. Sorry, I still have urgent matters to attend to. Min Lang gritted his teeth and told himself, women are all greedy lions, old friends, please don't pressure me anymore. Just as he finished speaking, a familiar voice rang out from the front. Are you talking about Vusa the Enchanting? Holding an umbrella, she stepped out to ask softly, who is the greedy lion? Min Lang awkwardly denied, you must have heard wrong. Vusa smiled mischievously and asked back, really? She leaned close to him, her voice full of coaxing. Say it again. He jumped away in fear, sweating profusely. I suddenly remembered I have something urgent to do. Min Lang hurriedly said goodbye and ran away. See you later, Havu. Looking back at her figure, I'm not eating you, you coward. Turning back aside from the long palace, Min Lang cradled his pet in his arms. Hey, little one, your injuries are all healed, and I haven't named you yet. It squealed with delight. Min Lang began to propose names for the little one. How about we call you 6B? What do you think? It cried out and he realized it didn't like it. Min Lang cheerfully added, what about 6 Dao? But this little pet still wasn't satisfied. He pondered further. How about we call you Tantrak? If in the future you shed your skin and change colors to blue or purple, then we can rename you Lam Trak to Trak. The little pet Tantrak had no choice but to nod reluctantly. The scene shifted to Troklam, Academy, Min Lang, carrying Tantrak in his hands while walking and talking. Little Tantrak, even though I didn't take you from your mother, the cost of raising you is quite high, but the namok chat that you like to eat is still a bit lacking. Suddenly it sensed something strange flew out of his arms and ran away, making Min Lang panic. Little Tantrak was now at Truklam Pavilion late at night, and Min Lang hurriedly chased after his little pet, running into a house. Little Tantrak grabbed a cup of colorful water, looking greedy. He shouted, "Stop! This is someone else's ink. You can't eat it." And suddenly a voice interrupted. "It's na mok chat. Let it drink." Min Lang followed the voice and ran outside. Coincidentally, it was someone he knew. "This place is your home." Linsa answered him indifferently. "Daring to come in at midnight, you have some guts, huh?" He awkwardly explained, "I didn't mean to intrude. I'm sorry. Seeing his foolish appearance, she giggled and teased, "Look how scared you are. Where did you get this little dragon?" Min Lang unexpectedly recounted how he adopted Tantrak. "In the forest north of the academy, there is a dragon's den. I found it there." She knew this dragon, and she was still a bit vague about it. It seems there is no record of its lineage and race in the books. Linsa focused on him telling the story. It is a divine wood spirit dragon, the leader of the Lamlong clan. Unfortunately, its aura is too weak. Tantrak was happily drinking water, and the divine spirit was also eavesdropping. Its aura is too weak, probably due to heavy injuries when it was born during a crucial growth phase. Even if it reaches its peak later, it would be hard to unleash the true power of the divine wood spirit dragon. It flailed about, accidentally knocking over the divine water cups next to it. Min Lang's eyes widened, panicking. He shouted, "Oh no!" Each cup fell, water splashing everywhere. Linsa immediately used her magic. He was amazed by her skills. It turned out she was also a divine product user. With just one of her moves, each drop of water returned to its rightful place in the cup. The sound of applause rang out like a compliment. Min Lang exclaimed, "That's impressive." Linsa moved closer to him, her voice ambiguous. "I have even better tricks. Do you want to try them?" Min Lang's handsome face turned bright red, unable to speak. He distanced himself from her, stammering, Sorry, I'm disturbing you. It's late and cold. You should rest early." Quickly holding on to Thantrak's foot, making it confused, Min Lang quickly fled, desperately trying to escape from there. He tightly held onto his little pet, running through the forest. After a while, Min Lang stopped to catch his breath, panting while Tantrak was still giggling. He raised his fist to threaten it. "If you keep laughing, this is all your fault." However, he still had some thoughts, regretting that he forgot to ask where Nam Linsa bought the Nam Mokchat. "Never mind, I'll ask next time. It's getting late anyway." People also need their dignity. The scene shifted. Min Lang was strolling through the streets when he saw people gathered to watch something. What caught everyone's attention was a notice from the academy. After observing the content of the notice for a while, he helplessly said, "Must I form a team? In the academy, I'm only familiar with Li Tiujin, but they haven't even crossed the Dragon Gate yet. Who am I supposed to team up with?" Suddenly, a voice called out, "Chuk Min Lang." He jumped and turned to look. It was Nan Yan and her crew looking for teammates. "Do you want to join my team?" Min Lang was overjoyed like he found gold. "Just when I was in a deadlock, sure. Thank you, senior sister." The scene shifted to Tiu Chi's son. Everyone walked together, following Nyan Nyan's lead. Jungsu Moi chattered, "With the wind spirit dragon from our senior sister, we should be able to quickly find those spirit beasts." Suddenly, Tantrak wanted to fly out of Min Lang's shirt. He looked up at its back full of emotion. The Namok chat is indeed effective. Little Tantrak has grown wings. It happily laughed and flew along with its kind. A large bird accidentally flapped its wings and hit it, causing Tantrak to lose balance and fall. The bird panicked. "I didn't mean to." Min Lang was extremely worried, reaching out to catch his little pet. Little Tantrak flailed its arms and legs, playing in midair. Tiu Yao and her friend teased him. "Is that a Mok Diulong? Maybe it's a Humok or Diulong," making Min Lang blush. Suddenly, the bird from earlier sensed something and turned its head to fly towards Min Lang's group. Nyan Nyan urged, "Hurry up." Here, he reminded everyone to be careful. They could be hiding in the trees. However, the person named Mai Tuan suddenly ran up. "You coward!" So looking at the young figure pretending, "Spirit beast, you're done for." He helplessly thought, are young people nowadays all so reckless? Unexpectedly, a creature jumped out of the bushes, a monster intended to attack Min Lang from behind. Tantrak was furious, its eyes bullet-like aimed at the enemy. Immediately, tough thorns grew up from the ground, cutting into the flesh of that monster. Min Lang proudly praised it. "Well done, little Tantrak." And from every tree canopy, there were eyes watching them. They were hybrid monsters between monkeys and rats, clinging to the branches, hunting, couldn't wait any longer. The monsters leaped out, targeting Mai Tuan. He used a move to knock them away, and another creature appeared, causing chaos. The bird from earlier also rushed to join this battle, landing on Nan Han's shoulder, shouting, "I'll protect you." See, she also sighed in relief, although there were still ugly eyes around watching. But soon after, a monster lurked behind her, intending to ambush. Min Lang hid in the bushes and coldly commanded, "Tantrak, clear the way." Haknya quickly spewed fire in a straight line, instantly incinerating the monster. Tantrak also wanted to contribute. It mumbled a few words, "Haknya," and praising it, "That kid is impressive." Min Lang worriedly ran out to ask, "Is the senior sister okay?" "Where are they?" Nanan stopped him. "Don't come here. The area is covered by vine terrain, can't withstand the giant dragon. That's why they fell." But before he could take in her words, little Haknya had already gone ahead. As soon as it set foot on the ground, it sank deep. It fell into the giant pit above. He anxiously called, "Haknya, Haknya." Stomping down hard on the rocky ground, its sharp claws tore it apart, sending dirt flying. Mingalang anxiously stood watching it from above, carefully observing the two beasts about to fight. It threw its head back and roared, revealing sharp teeth against the bright red background. Minglang exclaimed, "Big Hagnya must be careful." "Beat." He turned to Nanyan and said, "Senior sister, I will go down to save them. You keep watch here and remember to pay attention to safety." She replied, "Okay. You also need to be careful." The edge of the forest shook and the vines sprang up, causing the bushes to scatter. Minlang leaped down, his hair and clothes flying. Before the thick vines, he landed on the ground, stabilizing next to Tiotantrak, eyes vigilant. Minlang raised his head to see a young lady stepping out from the fog. He was wide-eyed in surprise, exclaiming, "Vantu!" Minlang hurried over softly, calling, "Vantu!" Under the wary gaze of Tiotantrak, she approached him and reached out to stroke Tiotantrak's hair, widening her eyes and exclaiming when she discovered something unusual. Minlang suddenly came to his senses. Mogdang burst out tightly, wrapping around the beast's claws, blocking the attack right in front of him. Minlang thought to himself, "The Jiaodang trial dragon, I heard they absorb hypnotic factors in Da. The hypnotic effect is expelled through the atmospheric energy, and they can even create illusions. Did I just plot that?" He spoke, "That was dangerous. Thankfully you are here." Tiotantrak smiled proudly. The monster struggled, causing the Mokdang to snap. The raging wolf lunged at Tangjen. Minlang shouted, "Not good. Tangjen, come back quickly. You're not its opponent." He continued, "This monster probably has over 900 years of cultivation. It's already a demon." The claw swipe swept through like lightning. Tangjen leaned to avoid it just in time. Ming Lang formed a seal-gathering blue light to summon the spirit beast. "Next, Bach, Kai, I need your help." The blue energy vortex exploded, locking the fierce wolf in the center of the formation, its flesh torn apart by the slicing wind. It howled madly in retaliation. Bach Kai coiled into a wave, crashing down to suppress its opponent. The Longquang ray tore through its body ice crystals embedded in its forehead, causing it to be dazed. The dust gradually cleared. The fierce beast was sealed in a red crystal. It was tightly bound by ice crystals, blood streaming down, staining its ferocious face. The golden demon crystal shot out among the ice shards and bright blood. Ming Lang caught the orb. "Soul orb of the Na spirit. This is great. This will strengthen Tangjen's power significantly." He hurriedly ran to Mai Tuan, saying, "Kim Su-Huin, is everyone okay?" He cried, saying, "Thank you, Chuksude, for the rescue." "Unfortunately, Dung Sumoy has been killed," Min Lang sadly replied. "The dead cannot come back to life. Let's leave here first." At the Tuvien Waisun, Tan the Elder spoke, "You all are very fortunate to have survived the encounter with the demon spirit." He continued, "News from the north reports that an elder could not escape the blood formation of the demon spirit. You all have achieved great merit trading it for a bit of peace for Waisun Tan. Now go back." Mai Tuan respectfully said, "Master, we will definitely return Dung Sumoy's remains to the academy ourselves." The elder continued, "Chuk Min Lang, your strength is not inferior to some masters. Are you willing to go to Thanluha City to assist a team of demon hunting masters? The Advanced Academy will send a generous reward too." He replied, "I am willing." The elder instructed, "Remember, if you encounter a demon spirit that eats people over 3,000 years old, this time never act recklessly. The first thing is to report to the one stationed in Honglian Tan so she can handle it." "Do you understand?" Min Lang replied, "Understood." At Hu Fapsun Honglian Tan, he calmly stepped down from the steps among the lush green trees. Min Lang suddenly looked up startled when he saw a person standing next to the stone platform in front of the tower. He called out, "I never expected the one stationed at Honglian Tan to be you." Linsa spoke, "What can't I guard Honglian Tan?" Ming Lang hurried to clarify, "That's not what I meant." She was leisurely sitting yawning and asked, "What do you want to see me about?" He replied, "I am following the arrangements of the master going to Luha City to support a team of demon hunting masters. When I arrived, 3 masters had died in normal death states, and the demon creature vanished." Linsa asked, "Even the masters have fallen?" Min Lang solemnly replied, "Yes, the demon creature probably has at least 3,000 years of cultivation." Suddenly he was startled looking at her. In front of Linsa, she waved her hand, shouting, "Hoa Long, Kilan Long." He thought to himself, "Hoa Long Master, she's sitting on the spirit beast, saying, 'You guard Hong Lien Tan for me, I will go take a look.'" He was shocked and asked, "I guard." Min Lang followed. "Wait a minute, it's too dangerous. I will go with you." Unexpectedly slipping, losing her balance, Linsa fell to the ground. She fell right on top of him, both tumbling to the ground. Linsa's head crashed straight into Min Lang's face. He instinctively reached out to embrace her waist, still not done. Linsa's butt hit a sensitive spot, making Min Lang scream. "What a face!" Eggs cracked in half. Min Lang shouted, "It hurts! I'm dying!" Linsa continued to sit on Kilan, saying, "You deserve this. Sit here and reflect on yourself." He sat alone, saying, "Fortunately, nothing is wrong. Otherwise, I would owe my mother a lot." Min Lang looked up and saw birds flying chaotically in the blue sky as if signaling some disturbance ahead. The young master spoke, "May I ask this senior? We are disciples of Nam Phi Nam Ningsa. Are we supposed to guard this place?" Suddenly he shouted loudly, "Chuk Min Lang!" Min Lang twitched his ears, saying, "So noisy." Min Lang said, "Nam Linsa instructed me to guard here. If you have any matters, you can report to me." He angrily replied, "What are you that you can take the master's place guarding the city?" He said, "Do you finally have something to report? Don't disturb my peace." Still, he continued to curse. "What are you bragging about? Do you believe me?" The person nearby intervened. Don't get agitated. He asked, Truk Min Lang, we encountered a demon spirit and want to find Nam Ling Sa to eliminate it. She really isn't here, he continued. If she's not here, what kind of demon spirit did you encounter? He continued, we encountered a demonic spider that is over 1,000 years old. It charged into a logging area, killing people indiscriminately, and the soldiers were so scared they fled in panic. Finally, that demon creature retreated into a dense forest in the west. Min Lang asked, do you know the location of that demon spirit? Lead me there. At the academy's logging area, everyone arrived at the plot of land in the forest littered with logs and stained with blood. One person exclaimed, quickly check if there's blood here. Yeah, he said, I'll go check it out. You all be careful here. The other said, Truk Min Lang, it's too dangerous for you to go alone. We are enough. He exclaimed, people want to show off. What do you interfere with? He slowly approached the scene to observe. Unexpectedly, two streams of purple energy crossed each other, piercing through the barrier and exploding, dispersing dark dust, initiating an ambush. A swirling column of black energy rushed right beside him, engulfing his sight, causing Min Lang to be startled and tilt defensively. He hid in the bushes, seemingly not understanding what just happened before his eyes. From the bushes, a half-human, half-beast spider charged out, its 8 legs thrashing violently, sending dirt and rocks flying. Thentrak rushed out to block its path, opening its mouth to gather a dark purple, poisonous liquid, a poisonous aura swirling. The demon spider spat out a thick purple sticky mass, splattering on the ground and quickly trying to engulf the path. The poisonous spiders with wings shot out purple threads, pinning Thentrak in midair. Meanwhile, the female spider behind commanded her brood to attack continuously. Min Lang frowned, thinking, could it be that the demonic spider eats people to give birth to more baby spiders? That Samlam giant dragon swallowed it all. Thentrak must be pinned down by the poisonous spiders. One clung to its back, making it writhe and struggle. He thought, that's the mother and older brother of Teo Thentrak. The demonic spider bared its fangs, laughing wickedly, a fierce aura radiating around it, leaping from above and lunging straight down at Min Lang. He crouched in a defensive stance, thinking, oh no. Teo Thentrak exploded with green light, its aura rising like it was summoning mysterious power. Min Lang thought Teo Thentrak, the demonic spider, is charging claws sweeping down. In a split second, Min Lang formed a seal, the green glyphs glowing in his palm. Thentrak transformed into Moklong diving from above, unleashing a series of interwoven thorns to bind her tightly. To Min Lang's surprise, the demonic spider, ensnared by the thorns, screeched and struggled amid the purple evil aura. He looked at it and said, Thentrak, have you completely absorbed the soul energy of the Dajiaodang's trial dragon? That's fantastic. It squinted in agreement. She spat purple poison, causing the thorny vines to sizzle, slowly melting away. The purple poison surged violently. The thorns of the vines pierced all over the demonic spider's back. Min Lang immediately covered his mouth and nose, backing away to evade the creeping poisonous mist, thinking, not good. Teo Thentrak jumped off him as if wanting to say something. It leaned against Min Lang's shoulder, gently tugging at his shirt. Suddenly, Thentrak forcefully threw Min Lang onto its back. With a swoosh, Thentrak soared into the sky, not forgetting to take him along. Min Lang tightly hugged it, saying, Thentrak, let's not play such stimulating games anymore, okay? He rode it, stopping before the swirling black mist, saying, that place seems to be the location of the Samlam giant dragon. Samlam roared, tossing a poisonous spider away from its shockwave range, exploding, knocking back the attacking spider legs. The demonic spider was enraged, spreading its legs, its body covered in deep red slashes, receiving a fatal blow. It opened its mouth, spewing thick purple blood, as the whole brood of baby spiders fell in a rush from above. Samlam looked up, facing the demonic spider charging, pursuing it, crushing the baby spiders underfoot. Min Lang, riding Thentrak, said, this monster is really cunning. It wants to use the poisonous mist and red spiders entangling and dragging out to kill the Samlam giant dragon. Min Lang formed a seal, activating Kim Luan to summon the next spirit beast, the great Haknya. It appeared hovering in the air next to Min Lang. The result was that Haknya fell heavily to the ground. He crashed down beside the demonic spider, startling it. Haknya unleashed the Kim Van protective shield, its body glowing a bright gold and roaring, preparing to sprint. The demonic spider was flung away, rolling into a golden energy ball, tumbling on the ground. As it rushed, chasing after a wave of green energy that erupted like waves sweeping through the forest. It screamed as the green wave swept across it as Minlang and Tantrak charged forward. Hagnya grinned as Minlang and Tantrak landed. He growled as if he had discovered something unusual. Suddenly, the demonic spider lunged, throwing purple poisonous smoke directly onto Haknya's back. Its purple poison exploded, engulfing the entire area in purple. Minglang grimaced and said, "Damn it, too careless." The great Haknya Samlam inhaled the poisonous smoke, then howled and writhed in agony. The purple poison exploded, swallowing an area whole. Haknya exclaimed in astonishment, "Am I not hurt?" Minlang, riding Tantrak, soared upward. Below, Samlam tossed the giant demonic spider. The two spirit beasts confronted each other. He said, "It recognizes you." Tantrak, it stared at the opponent without blinking, as if deep in thought. The little dragon on Samlam's back let out a whine, as if wanting to say something. The Samlam giant dragon gritted its teeth, tearing off a scale from its shoulder blood spraying out. Minlang looked at the Samlam scale, thinking, a scale? When the mother and child leave, Minlang said, "Is it giving me its scales?" He continued, "It's expressing that it no longer owes me anything. From now on, their lives or deaths are no longer related to me, right?" In Minlang's hand appeared a purple dragon pearl. He used it to control the demonic spider while saying, "Want 700 years. If it eats this, along with the dragon, then I fear that this entire forest will have no creatures able to resist it. Not even the cities outside will escape. Disaster." But Minlang shouted loudly in front of everyone's shock, "Divine wood spirit dragon." When someone thought, "Oh no, I heard that the Nam clan has a holy land for dragon breeding, where there is an ancient divine wood holy spirit, combined with the deep forest giant dragon, giving birth to the Lamlong clan becoming the ancestral dragon of the Nam clan. The divine wood spirit dragon is the leader of the Lamlong clan, the holy beast of the Nam clan. They won't suspect the origin of Tantrak, will they?" A person came up to him and asked, "Truk Minlang, did the holy dragon come from Sister Linsa?" He waved his hands in explanation. "Everyone has misunderstood. This dragon is..." Before he could finish, the person interrupted. "Whether it's true or not, we'll find out later." At the Honglin City Manor, he asked, "Sister, did you give Truk Minlang a divine wood spirit dragon?" The girl with purple eyes is Vusa, a soul twin with Linsa that no one knows about. She indifferently asked back, "You mean Tantrak?" Minlang was silently sipping tea. Vusa continued, "Just a silly dragon, I gave it to him." Upon hearing this, he spat out the sip of tea he just drank. Vusa leaned on her hand, continuing, "It was a clear, moonlit night we met in the bamboo forest. I saw him as a decent Muklong master, and he once helped my sister Vantu." She continued, "So I gave this divine wood spirit dragon to him as a token of my intention. After all, he has taken care of my sister with his heart." He was furious. "Shut up already. This young master and that dragon have nothing to do with you at all." Minlang thought to himself, "This woman really knows how to put on a show." The person spoke up, "Even so, my sister can't gift such a rare dragon to an outsider." Vusa angrily glared at them, questioning, "Do I need to ask for your permission for this?" See, they bowed their heads in respect, not daring to disagree. She coldly ordered, "All right, I have things to discuss with him." This mission to eliminate demons has ended. The achievements of everyone have been announced as exam results. Go back to the academy. After they left, only the quiet room remained. Minglang sighed, saying, "You have put me in a terrible situation." Meanwhile, Vusa was inching closer to him. Minlang raised his voice. "Miss, you may not care about your reputation, but I still have to be pure to get married." Yen Vusa questioned. "You are pure?" She continued, "Isn't it you who pulled someone down from the sky and hugged them tight? You explained, it was a misunderstanding. I really didn't mean it." Vusa coldly responded, "I heard that the incident between you and Levantu in prison was also a misunderstanding." She smugly asked, "Why are you so quiet?" Minlang awkwardly replied, "Well, it's late now. Miss, you should rest early." "See, if there's nothing else, I will take my leave," Vusa stated. "Wait. This time, you topped both the academy and the master rankings." She took out a spatial bag and continued, "The spirit fruit that the academy rewarded you, I've already retrieved it for you." Then he turned back, reaching out, shouting, "Give it to me." She mischievously twirled the bag and smiled brightly. Minlang lunged to grab it. Give it to me. See, this action caused Wusa to lose her balance, dropping the silk bag. Minlang also lost his balance, falling toward her. As he fell, Wusa gently kneeled, causing Minlang to scream in pain. He also benefited falling face first into her chest, making Wusa startled and blush. She reached for the fallen silk bag on the table. Afterwards, Wusa blushed, threw the bag at Minlang's head, and scolded, "You rogue!" He cried out in pain, "And you hit me twice." The scene changed then. Minlang and Wusa rode Tantra flying in the sky together. He was eating while saying, "The flavor of this spirit fruit is just average." She asked, "Does the spirit fruit have a flavor?" And Wusa spoke, "Don't you have a white dragon named Bach Kai? Why do you want to ride my dragon?" He refused to back down. "Can't you draw a dragon? Why do you always want to fly with me?" Wusa explained, "I used up all the ink I brought when exterminating demons 3,000 years ago." Minlang replied, "Bach Kai fell asleep after killing the Jiaodang and hasn't woken up yet." She asked, "Has your Bach Kai gone through the dragon tribulation?" He asked back in surprise. "Dragon tribulation," Wusa answered. "All things that pass through the dragon gate can transform into dragons. And dragons that pass the dragon gate will level up. Each time they level up, they can encounter a dragon tribulation. Each level corresponds to a tribulation, and they will undergo a transformation, increasing their power by one level. A stage will be divided into lower level, upper level, and peak level. However, the Dragon Gate has many levels, and after passing the young dragon stage, which level they can reach is unknown." Minlang guessed, "If that's the case, then Bach Kai has really gone through a dragon tribulation." She advised, "When you return to the academy, go to the library, and you can also check the treasure tower. There are many valuable things inside. This time, your achievements and scores can be exchanged for them." He gratefully said, "Thank you for the reminder." Yet Wusa angrily shouted, "Thank you is fine, but don't poke me with those strange things." Minlang awkwardly replied, Sorry. At the academy, the pure dragon tower echoed, "Dragon wind storm spirit." Minlang held the feather in his hand, saying, "This seems good. It can be attached under Bachai's feathers, freely controlling strong winds, expanding the range of wind control." At the spirit realm, Haknya and Bach Kai were sleeping soundly. Bach Kai pressed its cheek against the ice, breathing lightly, creating a mist, quietly listening to the energy deep beneath the lake. Bach Kai's eyes opened, the purple light spreading as if sensing a summoning signal from the gem. Haknya was surprised when Bach Kai tilted its head to the sky, spreading its wings as if wanting to fly up. Suddenly it shrank to Haknya's astonishment. Minlang saw Bach Kai. He happily exclaimed, "Bach Kai, you're awake." "Great." Minlang was surprised to see its unusual behavior. He stared wide-eyed at Bach Kai, waving its tail, gathering purple spirit light. Minlang looked at the glowing orb appearing before him, causing him to hold his breath and suspect its unusual origin. He wondered, is it the hidden law of heaven and earth? Minlang panicked and waved his hands. "No, the things here can't be taken away. It's dangerous to life." This is an item kept by the academy. The scene shifted to the dormitory area of the academy with layered tiled roofs among the green trees. He lay on the bed muttering, "This time I exchanged mission rewards and obtained a treasure I like." The academy points earned are enough for Big Haknya to eat pork until spring. The gold and jewels in his hands are also enough to buy such expensive honeydew ice flowers. When Bach Kai uses the Ice Divine technique, it will be even stronger. Not to mention winter, that's also when it enters the maturity period. Minlang thought to himself, and the sandalwood water that Tantrak likes has also been fully wrapped by Miss Nam. The upcoming days will temporarily not have to worry about their eating issues. He held the scale of Samlam, saying, "By the way, how should this reverse scale be handled?" "Oh!" Suddenly Minlang sat up, exclaimed, "I have a solution." "Oh, Bodhi Salam." Half a day later at the academy, he exclaimed, "You are made from the reverse scale of Samlam, ancient dragon. So I will call you Ngich Tan Nguyen Lanzap." Minlang held the armor in his hand, saying, "Vantu always has to fight. Outside, the new year is coming. She should return victorious soon. Just in time to gift this soft armor to her. She will definitely like it." Outside the Lei family courtyard, Minlang stood under the tree, thinking, Vantu, wearing the soft armor, I gifted will surely be stunning. Suddenly Sunyi appeared. She said, "Congratulations, young master." He replied, "Miss Sunyi," she continued, "congratulations. My lady said she really liked the gift you gave." Minglang thought, "Vantu likes it. That's great." He said, "I heard she got injured again, so she isn't meeting anyone. Please send my regards to your young lady." Sunyi exclaimed, "Young master, you're not an outsider." "Yes," she said, "I will go out now, young lady. You and the young master can talk slowly." Minlang reached out to take her pulse and said, "I heard you got injured again. How are you now? Are you feeling better? But why are you so foolish, always wanting to take risks?" And Tinghua softly replied, "Young master, are you concerned about me? My body is fine, moreover, my mood returning this time is better than before. At least I can't hear those filthy words anymore." He raised his hand to his head. "You know, my acting has always been good." She asked, "Is that so? Meeting in the bamboo forest, exchanging tokens is just a joke then?" Kit Minlang panicked. "You misunderstood. The divine wood spirit dragon is mine. It's not a gift from Miss Nam." "Then how did it become an exchange of tokens in your ears?" Tinghua blushed and asked, "Then did you not give her anything?" The Minlang seriously said, "Of course I did, but I only gifted her. By the way, the soft armor I gifted you, is it fitting? Is it comfortable?" Tinghua awkwardly replied, I haven't tried it yet." He continued, "Then try it now. If there's anything uncomfortable, I'll fix it right away." Tinghua immediately agreed. "Okay." Minlang waited. Occasionally glancing at her, he turned and instructed, "Young master, don't peek." He replied, "Okay," secretly thinking, "Wow, she really agreed, and still calls me young master. It seems Vantu has changed a lot. She is no longer cold toward me like before." As she changed her clothes, he thought outside, "Don't do anything improper." The mind remains unchanged amidst the ever-changing world. The mind remains unchanged amidst the ever-changing world. Tinghua called out from inside, "I'm done changing. I'm coming out." She stepped outside in a sexy outfit, saying, "This soft armor fits perfectly, very comfortable. Moreover, there is no feeling of being constrained. It's also very cool." Minlang blew smoke when he saw her step out, blushing, exclaiming, "So beautiful. She looks extremely beautiful in it." Tinhua reached out to adjust her clothes, continuing, "But this part below seems a bit..." Minlang's gaze couldn't leave that waist, turning his eyes into hearts. He widened his eyes, stepped closer to her, and simply said, "No." Minlang leaned closer to Tinhua's face, saying, "Everything that belongs to you is perfect." The wooden door suddenly opened, forcefully bright light flooded the entire room. He thought, "Oh no, someone is coming." She calmly looked ahead. Then Tinhua clenched her hand, then pulled the red cloak tightly around her. They both looked out the door. Vusa entered, speaking, "No wonder you stopped me. Turns out you're on a date with your lover." Minlang exclaimed in surprise, "Nam, Linsa." And at this moment, Vantu had woken up staring blankly ahead. She asked, "Why are you here?" Vusa did not answer. Looking at her, said, "Sister, your ambitions are really great." Vantu coldly warned, "If you want to obstruct me, I won't be polite." He thought, what are they talking about? What ambitions? What obstruction? Vusa approached Minlang, pulling his hand, saying, "Then fine. The bustling streets in winter are dull and boring. Why don't you lend me this handsome young master for a while to stroll around to Long City with me?" Vantu stared directly at her, replying, "No way." Vusa teased, "Are you reluctant, sister?" She turned to Minlang, saying, "Truk Minlang, why aren't you talking to me today? Normally you're very warm. Even if we chat all night, I don't see you getting tired." He awkwardly stated, "Nam Ninsa, I have told your sister the truth, so don't play tricks." Vusa pouted, speaking, "What a mood killer." Yeah, afterwards, she left, not forgetting to say, "I came at the wrong time, so you all continue." He regretfully pointed to Vusa, asking, "What exactly did she come for?" "She left right away," Vantu replied. "She came to check on my injury. Seeing that I'm fine, she just left." Minlang looked at her, asking, "Do you have something on your mind?" Yet Vantu did not deny. She said, "I want to establish a nation." He continued, "All the city-states on this land are independent. There is only the clan palace in the middle to manage. There is no such thing as a nation. Now you want to confront the clan palace, unify the city-states, and establish your own nation." Vantu continued, "To be precise, I don't want to completely become their enemy, Just confront them while establishing the nation, she continued. The clan palace, Lang Tiu city, even the Nam and Le families are all obstacles in my way. Ming Lang spoke. Then there are many people in the Le family who want to confront you too. How come you don't even have a guard that's too dangerous? As she sadly said, there are many guards, but there are few I can trust. The so-called loyalty can't surpass the temptations of power. He embraced Vantu, saying, "You saying this to me means you trust me. Tomorrow, I will arrange my things, move here to protect you properly." She covered Min Lang's mouth. No, this is not simple. It's not just about protecting you properly. The reason I told you this is that I'm afraid it would involve you. I want you to find a place to hide. He looked at Vantu intently, speaking. I once said in front of many people that I would protect your reputation. I won't run away. She was touched, placing her hand on Min Lang's cheek, saying, "Thank you." He embraced Vantu, exclaiming, "What do we need to thank each other for in our relationship?" And she looked at Min Lang, instructing, "You really are serious, not for even 5 seconds. Remember to stay away from Nam Linsa." He cheerfully replied, "As you command." In Truk Min Lang's room at the academy, 2 men entered the sunlit courtyard. He looked around the room once more, secretly thinking, it seems there is nothing to tidy up. Teo Jin asked, "Truk Min Lang, I heard you want to move out?" He replied, "I will temporarily move to the Lei family's royal courtyard. If nothing unexpected happens, I will still return. Wait for me to return and continue studying with everyone training dragons together." In general, everyone stays strong. Both of them were astonished to hear him say that. Hong Ha exclaimed, "Oh my, the Lei family's royal courtyard. Isn't that where the female commander Le Vantu lives?" But Min Lang calmly replied, "I'm just going to take care of the garden." Hong Ha cried, "How annoying, he's got too much free time." Theodin spoke, "Chuk Min Lang, since I was little, I've liked to crawl into low places. Can you teach me how to sneak into such a large platform?" Bufad, he replied, and waved to say goodbye. "For this, it depends on your looks. Don't hope for unrealistic things." The ancient riverside street appeared amidst the trees, casting shadows. A voice asked, "Where is Fung Nim Nim?" An elder replied, "Her family wants to marry her off. It seems a young master frequently visits the flower district and likes her, but she doesn't like him, so she ran away from home and hid in the city." Min Lang thought, such a big deal, and that girl didn't tell me a word. How will I deal with food for my dragon now? Ali inside to Long City night fell. The crescent moon hung high in the sky. Ming Lang saw 2 soldiers shouting at a young lady, "Get lost. How dare a poor village girl dirty this place? Don't you know that tonight the young lady of the Nam family is coming to inspect?" Nim Nim pointed at the soldier, shouting, "You dog-eyed people, look down on others." She was taken aback when someone grabbed her hood and dragged her away. He pulled her while saying, "Let's go. I'll take you to buy clothes, and we'll find a nearby inn to wash up." Nim Nim struggled to turn back and asked, "Truk Min Lang, why are you here?" He replied, "I already know about your situation. How did it turn out like this? You look like a beggar." She responded, "I was in such a hurry that I didn't have time to change clothes." Min Lang stated, "I have to go to the Lei family's royal courtyard. They will arrange for you to be a maid." And she said, "I don't really like interacting with strangers. Do you want to come to be my little manager?" She opened her eyes wide, looking at him, saying, "Yes." Niem Niem asked in surprise, "What's that in the sky?" They both looked up at the sky where many beautiful shooting stars were. Min Lang looked up, his face tense, mixed with astonishment. Voices echoed, "The meteor shower is beautiful. This is a good omen. Even the heavens are blessing our Tulong City, bestowing blessings upon everyone." People were excited, exclaiming, "It's the first time I've seen such a dazzling meteor shower. Hurry and pray. Is there an artist here? Quickly paint this rare, beautiful scene." Min Lang was horrified, shouting loudly, "Run away, run away. It's falling down there." Nim Nim shouted, "Why are you shouting? Don't cause trouble." Just then a firestone fell straight from the sky. Meanwhile, a rain of firestones poured down on the courtyard, creating layers of explosions, causing smoke and fire to fill the sky. Many disciples panicked, looking up, screaming as meteors showered all over the courtyard. Min Lang carried Nim Nim away, not forgetting to shout to everyone, "Scatter, run away. It's falling down, exploding, and sending many people off the ground." There were cries, "Oh no!" The screams echoed in the courtyard as each explosion covered the roofs of the buildings. Help, oh my. He thought other places also have meteors falling. It doesn't seem like it's caused by people. Could it be that Niem Niem exclaimed in horror, "We're doomed. Is this to annihilate us?" But before the raging smoke, everyone screamed in despair, "Help me. It hurts so much. Everyone help. 1, 2, 3. People wailed. A young woman holding her child cried out, "My child." A man shouted, "It hurts so much. My leg is broken." An old man shouted, "It must be the Levantu. The comet angered the heavens." Yes, others said, "That's right. That demon Levantu, wherever she goes, the smoke and fire of war fill the sky." Now the falling meteors are telling the people of Tulong City, "We must eliminate this evil star. Levantu's ruthless actions anger the heavens. Why should we suffer?" The whole street was ablaze, raging flames spreading quickly across every roof. The old man was engulfed in demonic energy, his eyes white, screaming amidst the red flames. She must pay with her life to atone. Otherwise, the heavens will continue to punish us. The old man's face contorted with rage. "That's right. Overthrow, Levantu. Overthrow, Levantu." The people died by demonic energy all shouted, "Levantu. Surrender your life to atone. Levantu Godi." A huge sea of fire rolled, dyeing the sky above the city walls red. In Levantu's room at the Le family's royal courtyard, Vantu stood sadly before the scene of destruction and smoke. Minlang spoke. "Outside, it's in chaos. The sky is not bright. Many people are blaming you, even gathering in protest at the ancestral platform, saying very unpleasant words." She turned to him asking, "Do you care about those words?" Minlang replied, "I'm indignant for you. The heavens punish them. They don't resent the heavens, but turn around to blame you." Vantu pondered and spoke. "Heavenly changes are something no one can resist. Anger must be released. Ultimately, someone has to be criticized by thousands. If they think everything is my fault, then let them think so." See, he embraced her tightly, softly saying, "Don't worry, no matter what they say, I will always be here to protect you." Outside, Sunyi's voice was heard. "Miss the Clan Palace's young master Do, the time has arrived. The head of the family expects you to attend as a representative. Otherwise, it would be impolite." But Domani Lin Lang turned, saying, "No need inform the messenger that the young lady Nin is healing and will not participate in any missions nor meet any guests." Sunyi exclaimed, "Miss." Vantu spoke, her eyes still looking ahead. "Do as he says." She secretly glanced inside, her eyes filled with worry. "Yes, yes." At the main gate, red lanterns hung brightly everywhere. An elder with white hair stepped inside. "Today is the great birthday of Nam Thai Kong. Elder Taoists have gathered to celebrate. I heard the head of Le family, the Taoist representative of Langtiu City, and the young master of the clan palace have all come." Bia, 2 men stood at the gate astonished, speaking. "The head of the Le family, after all, is the father of Nam Linsa. It's understandable for him to come to celebrate, but why have Langtiu City and the clan palace also come?" That the other person continued. "Nam Tai Kong is a very powerful dragon master who has previously served as the chief officer of the Pure Dragon Academy and has single-handedly supported the Le family and the Nam family. The Thai Kong is a true elder who dares not to respect him." One step, carrying Hai Vang, slowly walking in. Linsa, wearing a purple scarf dressed like Vantu, with cold green eyes, walked through the lantern gate, leaving everyone stunned. Dotan, the young master of the clan palace, stared at her without blinking. Until the servant gently reminded him, he blushed in embarrassment. Young master, Lohai thought, Dotan. "I have a betrothal with you yet. In front of me, you are staring at another woman." "Truly a lustful pig," he asked. "Who is this lady?" Lohai replied, "She is the Nam family's chap, Trung Nam Linsa." Dotan said meaningfully, "Oh, really?" Immediately after, Lisa placed her golden-heeled shoe on the threshold, waving her hand, lightly sweeping across the edge of the threshold. Her icy blue eyes gleamed with cold seriousness, ordering, "Close the door." The subordinates replied in unison, "Yes." Then they exerted their strength, pushing the large gate shut. Everyone was astonished to see her exclaim, "Why is Levantu here?" Nam Tai Kong, the head of the Nam family, spoke. "Everyone don't be tense. She is our Nam family's chap, Trung Nam Lisa." They respectfully understanding, so she is the chap Trung of the Nam family. My apologies. The elder called out for you to come out. A man in red armor stepped out. Le An spoke everyone. We have gathered here today to punish my unfilial daughter. Levantu Nam Taikong continued, that's right. Levantu has seized the territory, even claiming to the heavens. The city-state in the southeast has also secretly submitted. Until now, only Langtiu city has not fallen. He continued, this daughter is a wolf-hearted and savage girl with clear intentions. Sooner or later, she will destroy us. Today, I can only act with righteousness and eliminate her. Jungtu spoke. This time, the campaign to eliminate Levantu is very important. Langtiu city. We have dispatched troops for many days, enough to show our family's sincerity. Everyone, please don't hesitate. The elder of the clan palace also said, our clan palace has also sent young master Dothan here. He will make a timely strike. Linsa raised the scroll high and declared in a firm voice, below are the names of those who agree to join the campaign against her. She continued, I will temporarily replace Levantu, completely eliminate her guard. Everyone need not worry. Her loyal followers will take revenge. That person asked how you will replace her. He continued, could it be that Levantu's loyal guards will listen to a young lady from the Nam family like you? Leanne spoke. Everyone does not know Levantu, my daughter, and Namlinsa are twin sisters. Levantu's guards do not know the true face of Namlinsa. Levantu, after locking herself up to heal. No one knows that their master has been replaced by Namlinsa. Everyone was astonished to hear him say, looking at her, Nam Taikong spoke. This is the guarantee of the Nam family for everyone. Jungtu said, if that's the case, this campaign against her includes me. He signed while speaking. Everyone, please overlook her being a tyrant. She is still a talent. I respect her. I choose to expel her first. Everyone is invited to participate. Everyone unanimously agreed, saying, okay, we will sign. A moment later, a golden spear stabbed into the stone floor, creating a resounding noise. Nam Taikong stood up, saying, well, then, everyone. This ink is made from dragon blood. The paper is dragon skin. Today, everyone is allies to eliminate her. Through the signature, we choose to execute the most. Therefore, regardless of the result of the assassination, we are determined. Levantu cannot leave Tulong City alive. He was eating fruit while speaking. I say you all are too tense. Levantu is injured now. The clan palace's expert will definitely succeed. We just need to wait for good news. Leanne said, it's not that we are too tense, but my daughter has a great fate last time. She was captured in Vin City, yet could escape. It's really not something to be careless about. Linsa turned to ask, Father, are you involved in that matter? The giant said, it was because of you that she was imprisoned, but he knows nothing about what happened afterwards. Leanne was silent as if calculating something. Linsa stepped closer, saying then, she stood in front of him saying, it was indeed Lady Kong who made her suffer humiliation in prison. The giant was slightly surprised and fell silent. Seeing this, Leanne shouted loudly, how dare you talk to an elder like that? Linsa walked while saying colluding with Langtiu City, joining forces with the clan palace, Le family, and Nam family, just to push a more capable woman than 1,000 into death. Your father shouldn't be pleased for not interfering in the affairs of Vin City. In the end, Linsa said, you really are. She unleashed her purple spirit energy. The bright beams hit hard, tearing through the wind, declaring loudly the fate is as thin as paper. The papers of the notice were swept by the purple energy. The red words gradually smudged and then disappeared. The glowing red ropes wrapped tightly around the bell. The purple energy exploded all around. Linsa continued, you all. The names above were written by you all yourselves. The red ropes from the large bell suddenly flew out, wrapping tightly around the neck and arms of the crowd, causing them to panic and scream in pain. The crowd was hung in the air by the red ropes, in fear, begging her for mercy. Damned, what is this? Why can't it be removed? Help, I was wrong. Let me go. She coldly turned away. Namlinsa respectfully stood outside, waiting for those who could survive to escape here. Le and angrily shouted, damn it. Quickly release us. Nam Taikom shook his trembling hand, pointing at her, saying, Namlisa, what are you doing? Leanne squatted down, exclaiming, why did Namlinsa turn against me? She opened the door and stepped outside, leaving him sitting in contemplation. Could it be that the discord between the sisters from the beginning was all an act? He turned around, rushing up, pulling tightly on the red ropes. His eyes were white blood oozing from the corners of his eyes and mouth. Linsa recalled the act of feigning discord between sisters to deceive even relatives, how difficult it was unless that desire had to be hidden for many years. Years later, she spoke, Father, I want to overthrow Levantu. Leanne died with his eyes closed, still carrying the resentment. tightly pulling the red strings, white eyes, blood oozing from the corners of the eyes and mouth. Linsa recalls the performance of the feuding sisters in front of their relatives, how difficult it was unless that desire had to be hidden for many years. Many years later, she spoke up, "Father, I want to overthrow Levantu." Le'an died with his eyes still open, as if still carrying the resentment. The red strings also snapped the red bloodline binding, unleashed each bizarre character, swirling through space. Duangtu was horrified, kneeling in reverence, thanking for being spared, thanking for being spared. He was terrified, crying and saying, "Thank you for sparing my life." His blood-stained footsteps thudded heavily on the stone floor, trembling slightly. Elder Pham said, "You wicked woman, you will die a terrible death." Linsa replied without looking back, "If I can crawl out alive, my strength isn't bad." She said, "What a pity," her hand lightly brushing the edge of the purple glorious blade that flashed around the hem of Linsa's garment, launching a finishing strike against them. In the end, it still had to end in death. Nam Taigong knelt down, pleading, "Please lean. Sa old elders, we have been conservative, our whole lives hindering the great cause of the Long family is our fault. I can swear to my ancestors from now on I will not interfere in any matters of the clan again. I will go into seclusion, enjoying my old age." She held the pen in her hand, speaking coldly, "All right, let me draw a coffin for you to enjoy your old age in." The old man was horrified, shouting, "No, no, I don't want to die." In the quiet night, the crescent moon hung over the old courtyard in the Le family palace on the stone bridge, crossing the green water. The majestic old courtyard on the bank was crowded with people. Someone said, "Passing this place is the residence of Levantu. Now she has been betrayed by everyone, no longer having guards by her side. We will easily defeat her." Oh well, there were many masters appearing on the bridge. They are the 4 heroes of the clan, the female heroine of the bone crocodile. Chi Hung, the old man. Chi Hung spoke up, "Don't be careless. I still detect the breath of a long master." Min Lang spoke up, "That's right. I've been waiting for you for a long time." Bach Kai appeared behind him. Ming Lang spoke, "If I read the signs correctly, it seems you have come here to kill my wife." Du Than spoke, "You are the beggar with the female commander in the dungeon, right? It seems the message was slightly off, but it's just a normal life." Lahir looked towards him, calling out loudly, "Chuk Min Lang." The female heroine turned to Duthan, speaking, "Young master, the situation has changed. Don't waste time arguing with this nameless little character. First, let's deal with Levantu." He placed his hand on Lahir's shoulder, saying, "All right, let's go." Duthan turned back, continuing, "This one is yours now. I'm sure you will make him taste the feeling of living worse than dead. Anyway, he dared to underestimate your goddess." He replied, "Don't worry." Lahir spoke, "I will definitely make you regret it." It seemed he sensed something unusual, so he opened his eyes wide, silent. Lahir looked ahead in astonishment, asking, "Where are the people?" Di Duthan led his team straight to Vantu to settle accounts. Min Lang appeared with Bakai, spreading his wings behind him, speaking, "You want to kill my wife? Have you gotten my permission yet?" Duthan spoke, "4 seniors, you go deal with Levantu first. Let me handle these useless pawns here." Min Lang smiled slightly, reassuringly, stroking Bakai, he said, "Everyone stay back." Just then Bakai raised his head, letting out a long roar, a cold light gathering around his mouth like summoning ice breath. Immediately ice columns shot up to form sharp arches, locking tightly around the courtyard and reflecting moonlight like blades. Bone Crocodile spoke, "Damn, this long master is not weak, be careful." Duthan spoke, then cut off his head and sent it to Levantu as a greeting. In the distance, Lahir shouted loudly, wings spread in the blood glow, roaring towards the night sky, "I'm here." The dark flames erupted violently as Lahir activated his hell training skills, creating a giant, red, armored creature with fiery eyes and sharp teeth. Up, Bakai craned his neck, roaring, flapping his wings hard, channeling ice breath upwards. Right after that, it shot huge ice spikes towards the flames. Lahir thought, "Damn it, my dragon has advanced to Hellfire Dragon. Its strength only ranks below the Long Master level. Why can this white dragon withstand my attack?" A loud explosion filled the courtyard with silver smoke. At the center of the ice circle, Bach Kai spread his wings, maintaining the cold air, spreading out. A deep red fireball condensed and shot out, trailing thermal waves, sweeping across the battlefield. The fireball collided with the ice circle, the explosion blinding as the ice shards spun wildly. Amidst the thermal waves through the mist, Lahir sat on the back of the black dragon, his dark red demonic wings extending from his back as if challenging the formation. Right after that, his eyes widened behind the golden mask as he sensed something unusual. Bach Kai whipped his tail, shooting green ice spikes, the cold light tearing through the air straight towards the enemy. Bach Kai closed in, slamming his tail directly into the black dragon's eye. Lahir angrily shouted, "Damn it, I must kill this dragon first." The black dragon immediately swung its fiery claws, the killing intent tearing through the night. It charged fiercely at Bach Kai. Minglang worriedly frowned, shouting, "Bach Kai." He laughed loudly as it slowly fell. "Go die." From above, Tongchuang riding the black dragon swooped down, while Bach Kai spun in the ice circle, raising a shield to block the deadly blow. He bore a triumphant smile, standing tall amidst the sharp ice spikes shooting up from the ground. Bach Kai suddenly shot up from the ground, creating a fierce ice tornado that enveloped the entire battlefield. The sharp ice blades shot down like arrows. Bach Kai spread his dazzling wings, launching ice spears to suppress the black dragon. It spread its wings wide, turning to Minlang, who stood waiting. He happily raised his finger and said, "Well done, Bach Kai." But right after that, a fire flame column pierced the water surface, swallowing the snow and ice around him. In the circle of fire, Bach Kai widened his eyes, pinning Min down, using the momentum to counterattack. Minglang panicked, gritting his teeth, shouting loudly, "Bach Kai!" Duthan laughed defiantly. "You should take care of yourself." The female heroine beside immediately cast a magic circle. At this time, Minlang turned his head quickly, shouting, "Not good." In the sky appeared the Thunder Spear dragon in the form of a whale. He wondered. Longmaster level Minlang exerted all his strength, summoning the black shark to confront the gigantic Thunder Spear. In an instant, it suffered a strong impact from its own iron armor. At this point, Minlang anxiously called out, "Great black shark." The black shark flopped over after being shocked. Its entire body looked like he held his head, lamenting, "Damn it, I forgot about the electric dragon armor." Seizing the opportunity, Duthan rushed to attack, "Go die." Then Minlang threw out another trump card, Thantrak, and questioned, "I didn't expect you to be a godman too." Thantrak immediately activated focus mode. Traps flew out one after another, but Adothan skillfully avoided them. He was riding Thantrak while calling, "Great black shark, take off your armor." On the other side, the black shark was still unable to break free from the overwhelming electricity. After removing its armor, it seemed to discover a new horizon. The black shark sat up excitedly. "I'm fine." From the ashes, a magical light emerged. It was Bach Kai, timely appearing to assist everyone. Seeing it, Minlang rejoiced. "Great, everyone is fine." Before he could be happy for long, another shockwave hit. Lahir was really showing off. He rode his pet, charging forward. "Young master, don't interfere. Let me personally kill this brat." Kai transformed into the hell-rampaging flame dragon. Bach Kai was undeterred, let out a shout. Lahir completely disregarded it. "Just a beast? Do you really think you are that strong?" Oh, he ordered Liu Kim to breathe fire. "Let me show you the might of the hell rampaging flame dragon." And from Bach Kai's horns emanated a dazzling light. It turned around, creating a storm of Lingwu, amplifying the intensity. Watching this, Minlang recalled this was the Lingwu storm, controlled by Bach Kai. He exclaimed, "So powerful again!" Bach Kai looked up to the sky as if summoning allies. Tens of thousands of crystals fell at once. This scene frightened Lahir, shocking him, exclaiming, "No!" Liu Kim growled while having lost one eye. Duthan angrily gritted his teeth. "Damn it, this dragon is so strong." At this time the crystals had fallen like rain. The crystals fell to the ground, forming a layer like ice. The ice crystals covered everything beneath them. Lahir urged Liu Kim while he was already battered. "No, rampaging hell flame, dragon, get up, get up. We continue to fight." He was still spitting blood, refusing to accept reality. Lahir, dying, was still unwilling. "Damn it, Wai Baird Minglang calmly stood in front of him. "So it is Lahir, old brother." He rested one hand on the sturdy sword, arrogantly replying, "Didn't recognize you earlier, truly rude." Lahir crushed the shard in his hand. "No, I cannot die." In his mind, images of Min Lang flooded. "I will not accept this." Lahir gritted his teeth, glaring, "Vantu, she is mine." With a kick from Tantrak ended those nonsense words. From behind, he filled with killing intent. "Dare to aim at my wife, damn it." With that, his head exploded into pieces. Tuthanin nearby angrily spoke in a low voice, "Damn it, daring to injure this young master." He raised his hand, ordering, "You all go kill that beast." They gathered into a large team, each summoning their pets. 4 beasts appeared, just to fight one Bachai. They included the Thunder Spear Dragon, the Shadow Dragon, the Death Dragon, and the Flame Dragon. On this side, taking advantage of the opportunity, Dutan flew up, attacking Min Lang. "As for the head of that useless one, I will take it." Suddenly a fist flew in, punching Du Tang in the face. Huathok had arrived in time to assist. "Tong Kwang, you are still as shameless as ever." Dinner Bone Crocodile was shocked. The rights of the heroine cursed. "Damn it, hasn't he been missing for many years? How come he appears here?" The old man was somewhat worried. "I heard he once killed a dragon. I don't know if it's true." The old man snorted coldly. "Calm down. No matter if it's true or false, he will definitely die here today." Huathok calmly waved his hand. "Little brother, we meet again." Min Lang exclaimed, "It's you," he suddenly recalled. "Isn't this the uncle who normally farms, bringing Li Tiudin to school?" Huathok's eyes sparkled with fire. "Little brother, I know a bit about dragon slaying." Min Lang decided that the young master of Tongkwang is entrusted to you. Meanwhile, Bachai was also struggling against the death dragon. Seeing this, Huathok rushed to assist. "Let's deal with them together." At this moment, he felt touched. The appearance of a humble one can kill an elephant, that's something. Compared to him, I truly am inexperienced, could die. The female heroine eagerly urged, "Quick, protect the young master." The thunder spear unexpectedly unleashed its power. The lightning surrounding them left them no way to retreat. Min Lang anxiously thought, "Not good." On the black shark's side also began to encounter obstacles. Seeing it fall, he shouted, "Great black shark!" The death dragon turned to attack the weaker side. Huathok warned, "Little brother, those 2 beasts are running towards you," and it spewed out a green toxin towards them. Fortunately, Thantrak's vines surrounded it, preventing the toxin from penetrating. Facing the death dragon, instead of being afraid, Min Lang mocked, "Damn it, is there someone raising such a disgusting dragon?" At this point, Bachai decided to end that arrogance. To the amazement of Thantrak and him, the crystal pierced through the death dragon, ending its life. The pet's departure made the old man spit blood. The old man panicked, calling Old Forth. Huathok encouraged, "Little brother, stick on." But he himself was also struggling. "Damn it, this Thunder Spear Dragon is at the Long Master level, plus the Shadow Dragon is about to reach Long Master level. Truly hard to handle." A hand reached out, sneaking from behind. Duthan wanted to grab Min Lang, but he had noticed in time. He hadn't touched his target when Bachai flew over. Bachai's tail created a strong tremor. Min Lang took the opportunity, cleverly handling the opponent. Since connecting the soul with the Lingwu storm on Bachai, I can also use it. Duthan was attacked but couldn't do anything. The female heroine realized too late, "Damn it, I forgot he had a soul connection with the Dragon Beast." The equipment on the Dragon Beast can also project armor on the Lin Master. The old man hurriedly ran over. "Quick, save the young master." A bolt of lightning flew through them before they could react. The sparkling light of the crystal appeared. Bachai stabbed the crystal through Dothan's chest. The female heroine also decided to run to the young master. Bone Crocodile began to get agitated. "I will fight you to the death." The 2-headed dragon of medicine unleashed its moves, one side spewing fire, the other spewing poison. Min Lang expressed disdain. "You care about him so much." He charged forward, challenging. "Then at this moment, we can all go down together." The power of the crystal erupting forced them to be in distress. Quick retreat. Min Lang moved to deal with the female heroine first. In just a moment, when she realized the entire body of the female heroine was torn to shreds. Her fall infuriated the beasts. Hwathuk exclaimed, "I didn't expect these beasts to protect their master like this." See, the lightning of the thunder spear like death pursued right behind Hwathuk. He couldn't prepare in time and was engulfed in that current. The thunder spear with a smug expression dove down. He calmly summoned reinforcements. Bach Khai Tantrak, or Bachai, would not allow the thunder spear to act so recklessly. It flew over, shooting a crystal into the thunder spear's eye. Thentrak handled the two-headed flame dragon, quickly severing the fire-breathing head, making it scream in pain. The old man and bone crocodile turned pale. No Min Lang stopped his teammates. "Don't rush." When he finally gave them a gentle ending, "You can leave now." The old man recalled the thunder spear withdrawing bone crocodile in response. Unexpectedly, Min Lang was clung to by a force. The shadow dragon bone crocodile and the old man, not knowing their place, wanted to use the shadow dragon to escape. He shouted, "Don't run!"